Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first asterisk of attempt at a YouTube streamed to YouTube podcast, which is to say that this is a series that we are going to be recording straight to YouTube and then releasing in a podcast format, basically like what you're seeing right now on YouTube after we're done. So basically I'm doing an unlisted live stream on YouTube, and then when we're done, cut the stream, go over to YouTube, turn it live. That's how it should work, theoretically. We tried this once last week, and it failed, but I believe I fixed the problem. So, with that having been said, I now turn it over to our GM for the evening, William.
Hello, everyone. So, it is the 42nd millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. The slowly dying master of mankind, kept in a deathless state by the daily sacrifice of 1,000 souls, is slowly losing his grip upon the galaxy. The Astronomicon, the beacon that guides the mighty battle fleets of his Imperium through the immaterial realm of the warp, the only route between distant stars, flickers and grows weak. The galaxy itself is torn asunder by the Great Rift, a dark storm dividing the galactic empire of man in two, pouring forth the energies of the warp into our realm, and bringing with it uncounted demons, heretics, and agents of chaos, all while cutting off half of his glorious empire from his light. It is the age of the Dark Imperium, where billions of souls live cut off from the light of the Emperor, adrift in space as lone strongholds against a darkness seeking to consume their very souls. Yet, even in these darkest of times, there rises hope. Angels and martyrs fight at the front lines of this war, and the hand of the God Emperor is seen more and more as his agents strive to fight back the darkness. Alongside these saints and warriors, Gilliman has returned, one of the Emperor's sons, back from the brink of death. With him, he brings innovation to an empire that has forgotten technology and science. He brings determination in the face of insurmountable foes. And with him, he brings the chance that the Imperium may yet rise from the ashes of these end times. Ancient enemies lay down old grudges in the hope of battling greater foes together, even if they will never truly be allies. To be a man in such times is to face unprecedented upheaval. It is to live amongst the bleakest despair and the faintest hope. These are the tales of those times. So much has been forgotten, but now there is a chance at the future. There is no peace amongst the stars, but the eternity of slaughter nears its end. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. But there is also hope. Hope that might be the only bulwark against the grim predations of thirsting gods. So, welcome to the Wrath and Glory campaign, Faustian Bargains, a fourth tier campaign, which means that we're working with very big things, everything from your regular guardsmen all the way up to Space Marines of the Adeptus Astartes Primaris. And joining me today, we have Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Cedra, Gilliam Psyker Voidborn.
And Andrew.
Hello, I am Andrew, and I will be playing Shazvra Viorlos Shokais, an X-8 pilot from the Farsight Enclaves.
And Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Seraphim Sister Mira.
This rolls funny, it pulls up. John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Tacitus, Epistolary Tacitus Abano, a Ultramarine librarian assigned to the Death Watch.
Primaris Marine.
Yes.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Gabruk Teeth Tosser, an orc flashgit from the cruiser. And I'm sorry, what is it called again?
The Infinite Wa.
The Infinite War.
And then our experimental individual, the very first of Belisarius calls female Primaris Marines, being played by Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I am playing Gita Wolfblood, and she is a Primaris Space Marine.
Of the Space Wolves.
Yes, of the Space Wolves. Thank you.
And so, when last we left our unlikely allies, they had been variously gathered, with the exception of one, who we'll get to in a moment, by the Inquisitor Furiel Faust, an ally of Guilliman within the Inquisition, who sees his vision and will attempt, while Guilliman leads the armies of the Imperium against the greater threats, the mass forces of chaos that seek to stifle the Imperium. Furiel Faust will lead a smaller group, several of his retinues and his inquisitorial allies, to fight back against chaos where it is acting more insidiously, where infiltrators would seek to go, and where they would seek to subvert the sanctity of the Imperium of Man. Gathering with him allies not only of the Imperium, but of the Xenos factions who also seek to battle chaos. He has formed this group of unique and potent individuals as one of his many task forces, and has recently brought the group of them to a watch station stationed along the edge of the Eye of Terror, positioned between stars on a drifting asteroid, designed to act as a first warning system for anything coming out of the Cicatrix Maledictum. Positioned closer to the center of the galaxy, I should say, rather than the Eye of Terror. And before we rejoin the group on the bridge of the Umbra Draconis, the Inquisitor Faust's personal flagship, we switch to a time some time ago in a different location, aboard the kill cruiser, the Infinite War. Gobruk Teeth Tosser, you is in the mech bay, as you was getting your snaz gun worked on by the mechs. They've always got music from the goth rockers playing up on the loud shouty boxes, but you mostly just tune it out while they's working on your guns and your gubbins. But while you's working and while you's getting your guns worked on, you hears the boss's voice shouting down from the talkie tubes. Gobruk! Get your earthy bits up to the bridge!
Oi, lads, I need it back. How much DACA did you put in?
The mech looks over the gun and hands it back to you. I did 3 more barrels, lad. Don't know how many of them fire at once, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, but
I don't know what about the voices is killing Andrew, but the voices are killing Andrew.
A little bit, yeah.
Is it volume? Is it just general orc delivery?
Just orc delivery. It's very well done.
Gabruk takes a moment, kind of looks at his fingers a couple times. Well, that's more DACA. I'll let you know for sure if it's enough.
Never enough DACA, lad. Always more DACA, though.
And Gabruk grins and punches the mech in a comradely fashion, and then we'll head up.
And as you walk up to the I have this is an orc scene. I have to deliver this in orc fashion. Come on. As you make your way up to the bridge of the Infinite War, you's thinking about what might be the reason the boss is calling you to the bridge. Because you see, the crew's been all worked up today because something weird's going on. Something unusual. There's a Hume on board this ship, you heard. And a Hume that ain't being smashed. Said he came to talk to the boss, and for some reason the boss is listening. Must be something important if he's not getting smashed immediately. Which means you's probably getting called up for something to do with this Hume. So you make your way up to the bridge. And as you open the door, you see the big boss, Golgrim Bone Cruncher, war boss of the Bone Crunchers, captain of the Infinite War. And if you've ever seen a bigger orc, you ain't gonna say it to his face. The big captain of the Infinite War is a huge knob. Size of them Yumi tin boys, but bigger.
I know why that one made Andrew laugh.
Because I am a child today, apparently.
I know that slang.
Apologies. Continue.
Anyway, but Golgrim's a freebooter captain, which means he don't tend to spend too much time among the regular groups of orcs, and that means the groups of you don't tend to either. And his armor's dead hard and covered in spikes and earthy bits. His hat's the biggest hat he could find, and you know he hides some big explosive bits underneath whenever he needs a real big boom. Right arm completely replaced with cyborg parts, and he's staring down this puny little Yumi. Sort of scraggly with black hair and thick beard, wearing his long black cloak. Big metal bits on his right arm. Looks like a power claw, but no blades. And as you arrive on the yes. As you get up on a deck, the captain looks over at you. Gobrook! Took you long enough.
Oi, boss, just picking up my shooter from the mechs. I was thinking as I was coming, if we're not smashing this human, I figure you want maybe I use a shooter on him.
Nah. This Yumi's got a job. And a job that I was thinking of doing. Because the loot sounds good and the fight sounds better. And another one of the knobs steps up. Boss. Yumi's ain't worth nothing but smashing. Watch, this Yumi ain't got... And as this other knob decides he's going to step up like he's going to smash this Yumi, this Yumi hauls off with that big metal fist and clobbers him in the face. There's a big boom as the power fist he's wearing goes off. And the orc knob goes flying across the room and smacks into one of the walls. The boss just comes up roaring with laughter. You's a right earthy one, Yumi. I like you. And that's why I was going to give you what you want. Never let it be said that Captain Golgrim Bone Cruncher runs from a good fight and good loot. And for the job you's asking, I'm going to give you Gobrook.
Oi, boss, what sort of job is this? Is it that one with that special sort of pay what you've been talking to me and the lads about? Patience.
Yeah. Patience. You're going to need a lot of that, Gobrook.
Well, that's why you reach out to one of the bad moons. Because me and the boys, we got the most teeth out of any of the orcs. You know that, boss.
Right. So, you's going to go with this Yumi, this Faust Yumi. And he's going to take you to the fights that you need an orc's touch. Because he ain't got no orcs in his crew. So you is going to be the orc he needs. He's going to send the rest of us to find some good fights against demons. And he's going to give us the proper loot we need for fighting them spiky gits. But in exchange, you's going to fight with him.
And I gets my own loot then.
Yeah, you gets the loot that you find with him. You treats him like he's your boss. And he's going to give you the good fights.
But he's puny, boss.
You saw him smash old Nastreg a minute ago. Don't need that fist for that.
Oi. And Gabrick turns and stares at Faust. All right. And I'll have a go at that fist, though.
He looks over, looks up at you. This weapon is mine, but we'll get you something like it if we need to. And Golgrim looks down at him. And one more thing. You throw in that hat, and it's a deal. Faust. Nahumi sort of looks up, looks at the fancy hat he's wearing. Not too big, but fancy. Pulls it off, holds it out. It is a deal. And with that, Nahumi turns and starts to walk towards the hangar where you guess his ship's at. Come along, Gobrook. We have gits to smash.
Right then. And Gabrick will follow. The hat, I assume, went to the captain.
Yes, went to the captain.
Okay. All right. And Gabrick, who has a tiny squig on his shoulder, which is wearing its own hat, will reach up, adjust the hat on the squig's head, and follow.
So, you followed Izumi down to a ship in the hangar. And as you make your way over to the ship, something's weird with this Yumi. You realize he's getting all wobbly, like you can't quite see him right. And as he walks up to the ship, he turns and looks over at you. Step inside, and the ship will take you to join with your comrades on the battle we are about to undertake.
Oi, what's this is going on? Is this some sort of cunning trick?
You could say that. Enter the ship, and it will take you where you need to go. And with that, the image of Faust just flickers out. As the warp manifestation he had managed to create on this ship with his psychic power disappears.
Would I have any idea that that's what just happened?
You can roll me. Your skills.
If we do an all-orc campaign, I'm definitely playing like a weird
Roll
boy.
me cunning.
Not my best.
You got at least one success.
Okay.
Probably some Yumi weird boy nonsense.
That smasher better be real. And Gabrick will get into the ship.
And you step on the ship, and the hatch closes behind you, and the ship takes off on its own. It's weird. Meanwhile, on the deck of the Umbra Draconis, the Furiel Faust sort of twitches a minute as a vein sort of throbs in his forehead. Very well. Our assistants will be joining us on site.
And by
What?
assistance, I'm assuming you're talking about orcs.
At least one.
The barrel of Shokai's blaster cannon cycles a few rotations, creating a whir that some might consider ominous.
Remember what I said about alliances. They are founded upon best interest of both parties.
I
remember.
have often found the best interest of greenskins is rampant destruction, no matter who the target.
I am inclined to agree.
This is why we are working with freebooters, the known orcs who have been able to put things other than fighting on their list of priorities. And in this case, the particular war boss I have made this deal with is a particularly cunning individual, a member of the Blood Axes tribe, someone who can think in the long term, as far as long term goes with orcs. I have promised him better fights and better loot, and so he will aid us for the time being, and has provided one of his own to our cause.
Really quick, should we describe what we all look like since our descriptions got lost with episode 0?
Yes.
Right.
Let's do that when we actually meet our orc, because we'll have to describe the orc too.
All right.
All right.
At which
Sounds
point
good.
everyone will be describing themselves for everyone else.
Fair enough.
Well, no time to meet new people except for in the middle of a possible disaster. So,
Look down at
And
Sid.
if we don't see them, we'll at least be able to listen for the loud mouth to find them.
that too.
I look down at Sidra. Did you succeed in gathering protection from the void?
Yes. I hold up the respirator.
Well then, shall we retreat to the Thunderhawk?
Your pilot will be waiting for you when you get to the hangar.
I will lead the way.
I will scuttle along behind.
Turn and follow. After a curt nod to Furiel or Faust.
I'm assuming that Faust looks directly at what, again, because he's not too familiar with cloud technology, what looks like the head of the XV8, which is staring into your visual sensors.
Yeah.
He locks eyes with you expectantly, expecting you to either object or go.
This lasts a few more seconds, and then Showcase just walks off.
This bodes well.
The,
For everything.
The DX4 technical drone is watching Faust until Showcase is out of sight and the drone is forced to catch up.
You notice Faust's right hand twitches a bit, as if suffering from a certain amount of extra strain. You're not sure what that's about, but might have something to do with manifesting a power fist in your warp manifestation.
Fair.
So you make your way down to the Thunderhawk, and the Thunderhawk is painted in the black of the Inquisition, as most vehicles are aboard the Umbra Draconis. And the Inquisitorial rosette, which is a sort of stylized eye with crossbars and a skull planted in the front of it, is painted on the hood. And as you approach, a blonde-haired woman with the scar running down the left side of her face and strange circuitry on the back of her hands in a Navy uniform approaches from the loading ramp. All right, I'm your pilot. You can call me Tanre Valda, and I will be getting you to your drop-off location.
Have you been fully briefed on the point of entry?
Yes, your current plan is to throw yourselves at the loading port.
Correct.
It's a plan.
Well, hopefully the pilot servitor on the other ship understands that just as well. Come on.
Other ship? Oh, right, the ship that's throwing the orc. Got it. I forgot the orc was on a different ship. I get on board.
Yep. Load up.
Tanri walks past all of you.
Put my helmet on.
I
Walk.
double check. I triple check. I am doing dawdling at the edge with my respirator.
Reach. I peel the hood back, and you all see basically the upper face and silver hair of Tacitus, which for the two of you that have seen Guillemon, he looks identical to Guillemon, but with white hair instead of Guillemon's is gold, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Reaches back behind the hood and pulls on the upper half of the helmet that this face mask is the bottom part of, clicks it into place.
Tanri sort of turns at the door to the cockpit to look at Sidra. You coming?
Oh yeah, no, totally coming. Just checking equipment.
Gita's going to try to pick up Sidra,
Mm.
bring them with her.
All right,
I'm
I'm coming.
My carry-on.
Nope.
I will follow. I will not resist that.
The hatch closes behind you as you enter the Thunderhawk, and Tanri sits down in the pilot's chair and seals off the cockpit from the rest of the ship. And you hear her voice over the Vox. All right, time to strap yourselves in. It's going to be a short flight, but a fun one.
Don't forget to don your helmet, sister, I say to Gita.
Gita will nod and put her helmet on.
The other half of the helmet, because like Tacitus's, you have a lower face mask. That's just the skull mask, and the helmet goes on over it.
Strapping in.
The 3 drones that accompany Showcase all attach themselves about her person.
The crisis suit just kind of maglocks to the floor.
Pretty much, I'm just like standing in the middle while people are sitting on the sides. It's not exactly built for me.
There's a shudder as the Thunderhawk takes off from the artificial gravity of the main ship, and as it leaves the fields keeping the environment in, it enters into the vacuum of space, and the shuddering stops. And a couple of minutes pass by. Fortunately, Thunderhawks have their loading ramps, have their docking and disembarking ramps on the front rather than the back, so it's a little bit easier to maneuver. And a few moments pass, and you can hear the engines begin to slowly die down as speed is reduced.
I will. I'm assuming that they're like the entrance ramp has like those holding bars like right next to it, so when you're preparing to drop, you can just go.
Yeah.
I will stand by the ramp and hold on to one of those so that I can be the first one out. Because if there's anything that needs to be moved out of the way, I have brain powers. Which work remarkably well when you're in the void, better than shooting or stabbing.
This is fair.
So Tanri's voice comes over the Vox. All right, depressurizing the hold. Hope you guys have your respirators secured on tight. And you start to hear the hissing as air begins to leak out of the hole before the door opens. So there's a slow, controlled leak.
I'll turn back towards the rest of the group. And this is directed mostly at the humans, because it won't have nearly the impact it would have on the Tau, but remember, if your life is given in service to the Emperor, your death shall not be in vain.
And after a moment, when all the air is basically left the ship, the hatch drops, and you are plunged into absolute silence as in the vacuum of space.
That's why I said it before the air was gone. Because the image went.
I mean, there's a Vox emitter, so you can, radio to other people's helmets if they have them on. So, the ramp is down.
Also, does that qualify as quoting the codex? Because that's literally out of the codex.
Sure.
There you go. Get that wrath.
Yay. 2 wraths.
Miro unstrap and stand up and wait for
Yeah, wait for the door to open.
Door's open.
Oh,
Yeah,
door's open? Then yeah, I will
Yeah.
running launch.
oh, look for where you're jumping first.
I presumably I am doing that too, yes.
Everybody who isn't using a jump pack or a jetpack, give me an athletics check.
Oh boy. Hey! Got a 4.
3 exalted icons.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Can I use Phantom Grip to direct myself instead? Through the void.
Let me read the Phantom Grip power.
The Psyker manifests an invisible set of phantom hands within range. By expending an action, the Psyker can use these hands to perform any number of tasks that they might do. Push a button, open, close the door, pull the pin on a grain, etc. Though they must be able to see the object target to be manipulated. For the purposes of the task, Phantom Grip have a strength and agility equal to the Psyker's willpower. Though the Phantom Grip cannot be used to make actual attack against a creature, it can be used to trip up, confuse, or distract them, etc., etc. I figured that could be used to direct as well through the void.
Potentially, but this is more to get your launch.
Oh, just to get the launch? Okay. Athletics, you said?
Yes.
Dang.
So that's 5.
People are doing well on their
7
athletics.
successes.
Yeah. Yeah, I got also 7 then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because each of
The
the
exalted.
exalted ones counts 2. But it doesn't
All
show
3
that.
of you have 7 successes.
Yeah.
You needed 2 to successfully get a decent launch. Do any of you want to shift any of those exalted icons?
I'll shift all 3 of mine into glory.
I believe you can only get 1 glory per roll.
Okay, well then I will shift one of them into glory.
Yeah, I'll shift one into glory as well, and then can I shift some into? We can do it to like.
Can we
do
shift
things
into like
really-
wrath or?
No.
No.
So the other things you can do in typical role playing environments are things like gain extra information, improve quality, or improve speed.
I want to get there fast.
Yeah,
and
improve speed.
accurately.
Improve speed and accuracy as well.
I don't want to be out here in the void of space for very long.
Good. That's smart.
Ye-
As the one person who doesn't have a fully sealed suit.
Yes.
Guido, would you like to shift any of your icons? You have 2.
Can I shift one to glory?
Yep.
I will do that.
So that's 3 glory that we've got right now.
We very gloriously leapt out of the ship.
This is just as badass as we envisioned.
Yep, exactly.
This is what happens when you quote the codex before doing anything.
Let me see if I
Had
can.
a scribe to record the magnificence of this leap.
The Codex Astartes approves this action. I'm gonna use this as our glory tracker real quick. We're gonna go up in the top right corner of the map, and we're gonna set it to 3 right now. Cool. So, the 3 of you leap and push off, taking advantage of the 0 gravity to launch yourself towards the hatch of the loading bay that is typically designed to transfer goods between ships that have to dock with the asteroid.
I want to apologize for anybody watching this that hasn't been seeing the audio levels for the last while, because I again forgot that I have that on a display capture and put the PDF over it.
Staring at a small piece of the PDF.
Yeah, they're just staring at a small piece of the PDF for I don't know how long, because I can't keep track of time.
And then your 2 companions with jump packs just sort of step off and begin to thrust towards and move themselves towards the hatch themselves, sort of steering along the outside, prepared to move anybody who might need it. Everyone who's currently flying through space can go ahead and roll me an awareness check.
Sure.
There we are.
That's a complication.
Hey!
Need to look
That's
those up again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes on mine.
I have 4, and then a crit on the wrath die. I
You've
don't
actually
think
got
we
more
use
than
those.
4. You've got
4,
you've
5,
got
6,
6.
7, 8.
So remember, the exalted
I'm so
exalted icons count for 2 successes, but it doesn't show it on the roll.
I am so aware. I got 8.
So this one was more difficult. This one would require 4 to notice because it's dead quiet and you can only see things.
Okay.
So if you want to shift anything there, this is just noticing things. So you can't really improve the quality or anything. You can get an extra glory if you have the space.
I'll do a glory.
I can
I'll
also
shift
I can afford to shift for an extra glory as well.
Yeah.
I will as well.
I will as well.
We are so glorious.
Because the wrath die result was 1, which means if I shift 1, I still have 4 successes.
I am not sure what my complication means.
Well, if you shift an exalted, it will take 2 successes off of you.
Oh wait, no, that's right. Never mind. I can't do that. I cannot shift an exalted.
So how many glory did we just gain?
2 then?
2. Okay.
How many
2
did
more?
we need to notice for?
4.
So
You
I think
need 4 to notice.
I'd still get it if I shifted 1, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll shift to glory.
So that's 3 extra.
So
Yep.
we have 6 glory
6
so
glory.
far.
No
No place to keep track of it, but we have 6 glory.
It's in the top left on the map.
Ah.
Actually, I'm going to change that to blue real quick because I'm going to gain a wrath from that complication. Or a ruin, rather. Because those of you who got 4 successes, notice something out of the corner of your eye as you're flying through space. You notice a large green skin soaring through space right behind you, his mouth open in a silent roar as he's just screaming his wah into space.
Does he have
Because
a helmet on?
Nope, orcs don't care about being in space. They have enough
Okay.
redundant biology. They just go.
Okay.
The over the intercom, over the helmet, over the Vox channel and the helmets, those that we have, you just hear Xenos incoming in the most defeated voice a space marine can possibly have.
Mir looks back and just says, oh, Emperor's Grace, not even a helmet.
You're pretty certain an orc can't survive forever without a helmet,
Mm-hmm.
but they can survive for long enough. You're pretty
We
certain.
just have to hope he dies before he gets here.
Showcase is desperately trying not to fill the radio chatter with repeated swearing in the Tau language.
Few moments pass and you collide with the hatch.
Do we need to open it, or is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You will need to figure out. You can either try and force it open, maybe try and access it if you can figure out how, or just cut your way through.
I'm just gonna push it open with my mind.
All right. Roll me. Let me see if.
I can use Phantom Grip. I could use Assail. I could use Crush. Which one of these 3 would work?
Let's see.
And if, just in case, while they're doing that, is there an access panel nearby that I might be able to float next to?
Yeah,
and-
there's probably an emergency access panel nearby that you can try and use a computer's roll on.
Am I still en route?
Yeah, you're slightly further away en route.
I only have 4 dice for my tech roll, so I'm not gonna be hacking this thing.
I could use my drone to take a look at it.
If you want to try, you could attempt. A sail, you would need to manage the raise for extra damage to actually rip the door off its hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Though that would then just leave this section of the ship that you exposed just completely exposed to air.
I know.
To open the void.
I will just indicate towards the access panel and see who wants to give it a shot then.
All right, so who would like to try and use tech on the panel to get the door open?
I will send my DX4 technical drone
All right.
to investigate it.
I'll scoot out of the way and make sure that the screaming orc in space is still on track to collide with the door.
Pretty much.
Okay.
He's clearly saying something.
Yeah.
Although...
Emperor, his mouth keeps moving. I don't know what. He knows sound does not travel in space, right?
Never
Can
underestimate.
I, lip read?
Never underestimate the depths of knowledge orcs will fail to achieve.
Alternate, does it care?
Doesn't look like it.
So with 6 successes, this dinner plate-sized drone just kind of hovers and sort of floats in front of the panel and extends a series of servo arms that sort of plink into the side of the technology and begin to push and press. Being a Tau interfacing with human tech was more difficult, but 6 successes is enough. And so the drone sort of fiddles with the technology for a minute, and the door iris is open, and you can feel a rush of air coming out from the airlock within.
I'm going to use... how far out is our orc still?
Probably like 10, 20 meters. Closing fast.
Okay, so get everybody inside. And wait for the orc to pass through to close the door back.
As the last of you comes inside, the orc careens through the open iris.
And if there is a button to close it, or if we need our towel to close it, just get it closed.
There's a big emergency seal button, so you smash that,
Sweet.
and the door iris is shut, and air begins to filter back in, which means sound returns, so the orc becomes audible.
You just tell me what the password is.
What?
What's the password?
What password?
He hauls up a giant... Would this be a good time for us to describe what our characters look like?
Yes, now is the time to describe your characters to everyone.
Right. So the orc pulls himself up off the wall or the ground or whatever he smacked into. Is orc colored, so
Green.
fairly dark green skin. A sort of a proper stout orky build. Wearing weirdly nice clothes, although not remotely matched. There's a what looks like a nice, maybe one-time captain's jacket. Underneath that, there's a pair of probably really fancy slacks once upon a time, although they are 100% just ripped down the side seams so that this orc can get them on. A frilly white shirt underneath the coat. All of them just covered with gore and grime and oil, and they were nice once upon a time. They have not been kept up at all. A weathered yellow bandana is over the head and pulled back and tied around the back. And there's a big bushy beard of hair, sort of blue-black, coming off the bottom of the chin. Up on his shoulder is a little, it's a squig. It's sort of a 2-legged round ball with a big eyeball and a big mouth. The eye is a faded yellow, coming into orange, but the pupil is instead of a pupil, there's a targeting reticle, and it is looking around, and it is wearing a little tiny top hat. And he is carrying just an absolutely enormous gun. It looks like what would happen if you took a minigun and strapped multiple other guns to it. Or you made a Gatling gun of smaller guns. Many of them don't seem to be attached to that main body of the gun in any conceivable way that would allow them to fire, but they're definitely on there. And he pulls it up and is pointing it at everybody, and What does he see as he looks around at all of you?
So, Tacitus stands at 10 feet tall, where it has blackened metal armor with bronze welded icons adorning the chest. Red and black robes hang loosely from the shoulders of the armor, so that they are very clearly hung underneath the giant Space Marine pauldrons. The robes and pauldrons are decorated with litanies, which are those long bits of paper that are also affixed in place with librarian seals, which are the big red wax seals. The left arm and pauldron of the armor is entirely silvered and decorated with the Death Watch logo and seal, while the right arm has an Ultramarines pauldron in blue and gold, in blue bordered with gold, and the Ultramarines logo on it. And the arm there is a silver gauntlet, just like the left arm. A heavy bolt pistol is sort of mag locked to the side of his armor, and on his left hip is a sheathed force sword. And face has this psychic hood around, which is like sort of an exterior collar that hooks around the neck of the armor, and he has a large armored faceplate which is currently deconnecting from a helmet that rolls back, and a blackened hood is being pulled back over to shade his blue eyes and white hair.
Mina stands in front of you. She's about 6'2".
Is it Mina or Mira? Because I may have typed
yeah, sorry, I have a different page up for one of the Imperial Saints, and that her name is Mina. So yeah, Mira stands before you. She's about 6'2". As she pulls her helmet off, she's wearing pale yellow armor with red vestments on it, and she's got a pair of chain swords on either side of her. As she pulls her helmet off, she has burgundy red hair underneath, and tucked into the small of her back is a large heavy bolt pistol. And in Slack, that is what her armor looks like.
Cool.
Order of the Thorn.
Yep.
Or in Roll20, not Slack.
They Roll20, yeah. I have no idea. Yeah.
So,
Gita stands at about 8.5 feet, and she is wearing a blue Space Wolf armor with skulls on it. She has, from when her helmet is up, she has long silver hair with blue tips and yellow eyes, and a large, I can't remember what it's called, pistol at her side.
Bolt pistol.
heavy bolt pistol.
Okay.
As well as the large Astartes combat knife on the back of her waist.
Which is like a machete.
Basically, yes. And there's one more.
Two.
Two more, sorry.
Yep.
Myra, you want to go?
Sure. So Cedra is short. She's the short one. 5'2", 5'3", maybe. It's hard to tell because she's hunched over and covered in just a lot of very various and sundry clothes, of various makes and provenance. And is kind of staring at you mostly, and like between you and the Tau over there, just nervously just watching. Her face is very pale. It looks like she doesn't get a lot of sunlight at all, maybe ever. And she doesn't have a whole lot of eyebrows left. She's sweating slightly because that was very intense, shooting through space like that. And when she smiles, which is frequent, you can see that her teeth have been filed into sharp points. And you can't see any weapons on her.
Meanwhile, V8 Crisis battlesuit is of standard make for its kind, 12 feet tall, and coloured in the pattern of the Farsight enclaves, which is to say deep red with a bone-white, quote-unquote, helmet sensor array that indicates a team leader among the Tau. The suit's left arm is fitted with a long-barreled burst cannon, and the right features a large plasma rifle. A triad of drones also hover in close proximity. One is armed with twin pulse carbines, the second carries a shield generator, and the third is equipped with diagnostics and repair modules. And all of her weapons are pointed directly at the orc, and she says the password is barbarian.
No.
What's the password then?
What
So-
what password are you looking for?
It looks around at everybody and then smiles a little bit and says, "Well, I need to know if you all's the ones I'm supposed to meet up with."
Do you often meet a group of strangers on asteroids after hurtling through space?
I imagine he does.
He shrugs while... Sorry, go ahead.
I imagine he does and is likely about to kill them.
He shrugs while holding the enormous NAS gun. Says, "Well, it depends on the day."
The password
I have no
is
further
it's
questions.
us.
Yes, Greenskin, we are the ones you are meant to meet.
Unfortunately.
All right, good enough. And he slings the SNAS gun over his shoulder.
Diplomacy.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
It's good.
Well, let's,
Right. Should we do what we're here for?
Yes. Is there any access panels on this side to get into the systems in here? See if there's any.
Yeah, there's another access panel to
Security
get.
system.
Like you're inside an airlock right now.
Okay.
There's another panel on the interior for transitioning back from the airlock back into the station proper.
Mm-hmm.
I can try this one.
I
Go ahead.
No, I forget. What kind of Chaos Marines did we determine might be here?
You were, notes.
Iron Warriors or Alpha Legion?
Okay. Hang on a second. I need to look at what they look like because I'm about to do a thing for chat.
Yeah.
So while people are looking for access panels and things, I'm just going to turn to the Greenskin, whose name I'm not going to bother to learn yet. While we're here, the enemy that you've been sent to shoot at are Chaos Marines, the Alpha Legion, and the Iron Warriors. I know those might not mean anything to you. So
No, I know
simply
that. That's Beaky's what with more spiky bits on.
aim for the ones colored in blue or the ones colored in black.
You got blue and black on you.
That aren't me.
True.
He shrugs and says, "Like I said, more spiky bits. How come you ain't got no beak?"
I'm trying to parse what beak means in this context.
Roll me a 1 second. Skills. Roll me a scholar check,
Okay.
just to parse what the orc is trying to say.
Failure on the wrath die, but 6 successes.
I'll just take a ruin for that real quick. So older models of Space Marine armor, specifically the Mark V Corvus, I think Mark V is the Corvus armor, has had a sensor array in the forward mount of the helmet, which gave it sort of an avian-like beak appearance. And for some reason, orcs have just latched onto that helmet model as their mental perception of a Space Marine, which is why they call them beakies.
I don't have a beak because I'm not wearing the armor that has a beak.
Makes sense.
Mark 6 is Corvus armor. There we go.
And you can't. The hood is pulled down low enough so you can't really see his eyes. So it's just the head is staring at you.
I get the impression with this group that that's actually the majority.
It's just staring.
No, not actual seeing faces.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can see Mira's.
Yeah, you can see
Okay.
Her
mine.
helmet.
Okay.
Yeah, her helmet's off.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Gita's face has a skull mask.
Yeah, you can see the top half of Gita's face, but the lower half just has a skull mask over the basically everything from the nose down.
Like Immortan Joe style.
Kind of, yeah.
I will attempt to interface with the panel to open it up for us to get into past the airlock.
Roll me a tech check.
Check.
Oh, no successes.
Well, no exalteds, but yeah.
No exalteds. Yeah.
But with 3, it takes you a minute, but eventually the inside hatch iris is open, and you are immediately faced with a couple of massively laden carts filled to the brim with active explosives.
Whoa.
I would
Well
like
then.
to push those away from us.
So the door iris is open, and you're staring at bombs in carts and active bombs.
Like,
And you
like about to go off bombs?
no, like primed
Oh,
bombs.
okay. Primed bombs.
Oh.
Like just waiting for a trigger bombs.
How hair trigger are these bombs?
Do we see someone holding a trigger?
Yeah. Is it just the bombs in this room?
So roll me awareness checks, everybody.
Okay.
Because if there's somebody in the room holding a trigger, I've got a present for them.
Nice. I've got
6 successes.
3 successes.
also 6. It does exalted.
Off
So
to
you're-
a great
you're-
start, Greg.
Hey, my awareness is a total of 2. It is not my strong suit.
That's fair. That's fair.
You do not bring the orc for intellect-based checks.
Just double check something in the rulebook.
Professor Gobrook.
So
Back at
Um,
the university.
I get to choose what goes wrong here if I don't want to gain a ruin die. If I don't want to gain a point of ruin.
Uh-oh.
Because there's 2 complications here.
Oh, there are?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
goodness.
no.
Oh, boy.
Ah, the Xenos holding their own already.
Oh boy. So as the door opens and you all take a look around, so those of you that got more than 2 successes,
Yeah, barely.
they got 2 or more successes, I should say. The threshold was 2. You realize that these carts have servitors mounted to the back of them. You can see the sort of like the faint human flesh of like the mostly incorporated into the cart, but still partially there, of the servitors that have been attached to these carts that have presumably are given commands to push them onto ships that dock. So you can only imagine that this was a nice little trap set for the first ship to dock at this asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
As soon as a ship docked and sent a tube out to send things across, these servitors are probably primed to push the bombs into the ship and detonate. And based on the payload, would probably take a sizable hole out of any ship that docked.
do they seem currently active?
The servitors, yes, but because there's no ship dock, they're just standing there. And at the across the wall, you see painted on the back wall in gore, and with some body parts laying across the back wall, is just the phrase, "From will cometh faith."
Do I know what that means?
You can roll me a scholar check, and there's a more immediate problem that comes across as Gobrook and
Showcase.
Shokais take a look around and sort of lean forward out of the door to try and get a view of what's around, and immediately you hear a beeping noise and a series of bolt shells fires down the hallway at them. Both of you are gonna get a quick attack real quick. I'm going to...
I think Gabruk 100% is just going for the carts
look.
full of bombs.
Oh boy.
4, 5, 6 successes on my scholar test.
Nice.
Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3. What is your defense, Shokais?
My defense is 4.
And what is your defense, Gabruk?
It is 5.
All right. So both of these miss you as you hear bolt shells firing, and you just duck around back into cover. And your scholar test, Tacitus. This is old writ. You're not certain exactly whence it comes from, but you know that this is ancient litany from pre-heresy.
So my
era.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I see what shot at our Xenos?
It doesn't seem to be continuously shooting, so your best guess is automated defenses.
Automated defenses. Stay under cover. They are likely programmed to shoot at Xenos. Mira, do you think you might be able to disable them?
I can try. Can I see if the access panel that I have in here lets me access the security systems?
No.
No.
If these are automated defense systems, they have servitors inside.
Okay, yeah.
And if you're not a mechanicus, you can issue remote commands to servitors. You're not going to be able to get in without getting to the servitor.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't think I can. I'm not part of the mechanicus.
Well then, we'll have to take them apart the old-fashioned way.
Helmet goes back on. Swords come out.
Step out to where I can get a good view of them.
As soon as you step out, a pair of quad cannons just turn and aim at you and open fire.
Aha! They're programmed to fire at anybody.
Yeah.
It's right, Colin. They got trays out with hors d'oeuvres, but then it's a trap.
What's your defense, Tacitus?
My defense is... Hang on. 4. Give me 1 second. I gotta step out for a second.
Only one of these will hit. That's going to be the heavy bolter turret. Which is going to be war gear.
Did it seem like shells are coming from both sides, or
No,
is
it's
it
one
just
side. It's one
one
side
side?
of the hallway.
Okay.
Okay.
And how far away?
Yeah. Would I be able to rocket at it?
I was gonna
I
say,
jump.
or I could sneak over there and disable it. But I'm not gonna volunteer myself for that because that's stupid.
The Emperor protects.
Roll me real quick while John is away.
Mhm.
Roll me real quick some perception.
Awareness.
Awareness. Yeah, roll me awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
Just to see if you can gauge how far based on the sound of the
Sure.
heavy bolters.
Oh, I got 4.
4 is what you would need.
Sweet.
You want to make that roll as well, Mira?
Yes.
That-
Is that 5?
I'm back. Am I dead?
So you will take 11 damage with an AP of -1.
So that'll be... Hang on. That would be 2 damage.
So 2 wounds.
Do I want to take 2 wounds or 3 shock? Shock's
That's
easier to recover from, isn't it?
As long as someone has the appropriate tools.
Well, I can just like spend wrath to recover from shock, right?
Yeah, you can spend. It's either wrath or glory, one or the other.
Yeah.
I think it's wrath.
I'm gonna make a soak roll.
So you take 1 shock automatically, and then hit the roll soak.
So that's 2.
Yep, that is exactly 2 shot. That is exactly 2 damage that you.
So I take 2 more shock, but I don't take any wounds.
Yep.
All right, and I step back out of view, I guess.
You can spend wrath to restore shock.
Yeah.
Is it only awareness that we can roll to try to figure out where the attacks are coming from?
You could also theoretically roll me ballistic skill with intellect.
Now that I know where it's coming from because I saw it, can I throw one of these carts of explosives at it?
That'd be heavy. Like, this is ship-killing levels of explosives.
Well,
We're
certainly
an
try.
asteroid.
well, a sail indicates.
Also, if one of those went off, you would not be safe.
That's fair. A sail does indicate that I can uproot a boulder, tree, or similarly large object in the vicinity, though.
Yeah,
so
that'd probably be enough to throw that cart, which would then detonate.
cool.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good. Could I uproot the gun?
If you could see it, theoretically.
Did I see how many guns there were?
There were 2. There were 2 turrets.
But how far away are they? I was trying to tell.
Yeah,
they're
that's what.
probably.
Would I have been able to ascertain that and relay that back to the rest when I was getting shot at?
They were also listening to the gunshots. So you were acting as a sounding rod for them.
There you go. Ping, ping.
They're probably about 20 meters.
It's not that far. Or instead of getting shot at, we could try to not get shot and sneak up and, put something in the front of them or tip them over or
Did it seem like
any number of things.
so from the look that I got by stepping out into full view, what is the layout of this room?
So you're looking at from basically the way that the room is laid out. This appears to be a loading hallway. There's the railings of the carts that are used to load stuff on and off goes for another couple of meters, and then it splits into a 2-way branch that heads presumably to different areas within the facility. Based on the map that you had, you would guess that the right branch heads deeper within, whereas the left branch heads more to the port.
And
So
where were the guns in relation to all this?
down the right branch,
So they're like, were they mounted on the ceiling, on the floor, on the walls?
on the floor.
On the floor? Is there anything? So that sounds fairly sparsely laid out. Then, is there anything that we could hide behind?
There's not a lot of cover. You imagine that's intentional so that these turrets have, unobstructed view of any potential threats.
So, in response, from what I saw, the area is fairly unobstructed. The turrets will have a clear shot on anyone that steps out into range.
It seems we are going to have to get our hands dirty, metaphorically speaking.
Is there
If
is the whole area open, or are they partway down a hallway that we might be able to get to the other side of a corner on the outside this place?
I think it's a T junction, is what it sounds like.
yeah, it's basically a T-junction.
Okay.
And we're in the base of the T, and they're in the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in the top on the right.
Yeah.
The carts that have the servitors on them,
Mhm.
The servitors are strapped onto the cart.
Yeah, they're built into the cart.
Okay.
Their one purpose in life is to move these carts.
Are the carts movable without the servitors?
Theoretically, if you're strong enough.
They're also full of explosives. Which
Yeah,
we ascertained previously would be a bad idea.
No, I'm asking on the off chance that if we killed the servitors, would that basically take the brakes off, and then the things would be easier to move?
They're not particular. They have brakes. but they're not in use right now. You could
Okay.
theoretically move them now with the servitors on them if the servitors don't try and stop you. Which, depending on their programming, they might not.
Yeah, I have questions.
Actually,
that
William,
Gobruk wouldn't ask.
the servitors have been reprogrammed presumably by Chaos Marines. Where does that on the litany of kill now? Where does that land?
Generally speaking, this whole facility is tainted by chaos. So unless you found someone who was actively alive and still fighting, everything is free game.
So I'm just gonna take the heads off the servitors regardless, just because they've already been tainted by. And as I just draw the sword, first problems that are right in front of us. These servitors have been tainted by chaos already.
Well, they're in range of the guns, right?
No, like the carts are inside
like
the T-junction
right
too.
next to us. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and solve that problem now, so it doesn't come to bite us in the ass later. Do I need to make an attack, or are they
You
helpless
really
enough
don't.
that I can just?
They're servitors. You can just take their heads off.
Four sword ching ching.
Could we?
I'll aim with the other one.
Yeah. So two servitors are butchered immediately.
I'll throw the head out into the hallway.
Head becomes a fine mist.
You have given me a supreme idea, Greenskin.
Oh, it was my idea. I thought of it first. What was it?
I'm gonna move up to the end of the hallway before I'm in line of sight for firing, and I am going to throw the head. And while they're firing at the head, I want to look around the corner and see if I can grab one gun and throw it into the other.
Okay.
With a sail.
So, go ahead and make me a psychic manifestation roll for a sail.
All right.
Quick question: Go ahead.
No, what can you spend glory on?
So glory, there's a handout in. So glory you can use to increase your dice pool by an amount equal to the glory you spend. You can increase the damage of a successful attack. Each point of glory can add an extra damage die to the attack. Or you can improve a critical hit or seize the initiative if you're in initiative, but we're not. These guys just fire when things show up.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and make the roll then.
Is our speed in meters?
Yes, your speed is in meters.
So I can't reach him.
What's the defense of the turrets? Is it 1?
Turret's defense is 2.
Damn it!
Can Gobruk take a shot while Tacitus is doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you got the head. The head is a distraction immediately.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a shot with the snaz gun. Do I roll that on the combat tab on the snaz gun, or do I just roll that from skills?
Roll the snaz gun. Yeah.
Okay.
I have 11 dice. I got 1 success.
Make sure you get the extra bonus die from your targeting squig.
Yeah, where do I put that? Because I have that on the skill. Where do I put that in on?
So it'll be in combat on the snaz gun. It'll say plus ED.
Sorry,
okay. No, that's extra damage. DBD, yeah, dice bonus. No, wait.
ABD.
ABD, yeah.
Okay.
ABD, always be Dyson.
All right. So that's 6.
All right. So that's 7 actually.
Oh, okay.
Because the 6s it doesn't give you the extra success off of them, but it'll highlight green when you have them.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But it's also a complication. So let's see what the complication is.
I'm gonna blame the gun going off near me for my failure.
He also, as he steps out, this gun whirs into life, and there are essentially small Gatling rotors on it that are mounted onto a larger Gatling rotor. Everything is spinning, and it is completely shooting, and it is just horrendously loud. And Gobruk is also going daka 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 at the same time.
I was going to ask how loud it was.
Roll me a D66, Gobruk.
The answer is very,
So
very
it's going
loud.
to be on the combat tab. It's going to be on the far right on the rolls thing. It's going to be those 2 dice next to each other in one button.
Oh, okay.
Underneath Roll Glory.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So 41 in terms of combat complications. That is weapon malfunction, which
No!
makes sense.
My identity.
So the you do hit though, and you have an extra. You have enough that you can shift that that exalted icon for whatever you need to.
Okay. Let me look at the chart. I can't use it to cancel the complication though.
Don't think so, but I think that is a use of. You can use glory maybe? No. I know there's something that can cancel complications on your guns.
Do I
It's custom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's custom.
It's custom, which means it has the mastercrafted thing.
Oh, can I spend a wrath to reroll my attack?
You can, but give it a second. You might not need to.
Sorry. Well, I mean, because I was aiming at one and he was aiming at one, so we can just say I was aiming at the other one.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, you spend 1 wrath to reroll failures on the character's current test. Only affects failures, so I can reroll all but the 1 dice that's success.
Yes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and reroll that.
On an attack, can I use them for? Don't I just use them for extra damage?
Yeah, you can use them for extra damage, or you can use them to gain glory.
Oh, okay. Do I need them for extra damage, or is this thing shot to hell?
That's up to you to decide. You don't know how tough these things are. You're just opening fire now.
No. Then he's just gonna put it all into damage because
All right.
that's 100% what he would do.
Okay.
So there it is. So you have the Master Crafted, which means that you have the Steadfast trait, and you gain a +2 die bonus to any ranged or melee attack rolls using the. Okay, so it's a custom snaz gun, so you need to add an extra 2 bonus dice in your attack rolls in the future.
Oh, cool.
And it gains the Steadfast trait, which means that you ignore the first complication caused by an attack made with the Steadfast weapon once per combat.
Nice.
So it's not broken yet.
Excellent. Okay, great.
All right.
Jams for a second, smack, keep
I'm
whirring.
Basically, yeah.
One of the guns just goes flying off, but there are still 84 of them.
I'm
This is
gonna
good.
reroll my all but 1 of my die. That's better. So that's 5 successes rather than 1. So mine also hits. We'll say it hits the other one.
Yep.
Remind me what salvo does again. I apologize.
so
I should have double checked.
You
on
can spend a reload to increase
It's either
the damage.
the attack roll or the damage. 1 second.
I think it's the
It's the
damage
attack roll.
equal
that's-
to its Sabble rating.
that. Oh, okay. All right. So that's
So-
so each time I spend a reload, it raises the damage by the salvo rating.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I think it's the attack roll. Let me check real quick. Salvo.
Again, I apologize. I should have
No
double
worries.
checked on that. I remembered when I made the character.
Yeah.
Combat options.
Once we figure that out, we can both roll damage.
Salvo increases the attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh, attack roll.
As you shoot one and I throw the other into it.
Or maybe the one that I shoot
I throw
knocks,
into the other
is,
one.
is
Yeah.
knocked loose, and then you toss it as it
Yeah.
comes
Yep.
off of the moorings.
Either way, the 2 are going to become 1 in a shower of psychic energy and bullets.
All right. So Gobrok, roll damage for your attack, and you can use the DBD for your extra.
And that's the
Oh.
meaning of unity.
Hey, so that's
Damn.
do exalted icons on damage generate 2?
Yes, they
Oh, nice.
generate
So
2
that's-
extra damage,
So that's an extra 4 damage on top of whatever your base damage is.
and you can just roll me an extra D6 to see for that extra damage die.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing on that third one.
Okay. Is
And,
that right? 2d? It's 2d6 damage, right?
yeah, it has 2 extra damage die. Yeah.
What's the damage of your weapon? It has a base damage plus the dice.
Yeah, it's 12 plus 2 ED. So that's
Okay.
16 damage.
16 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, this
That's
turret
what it
is
was, yeah.
thoroughly mangled.
Okay.
And mine is 10 plus 1 ED. So 11 damage by throwing the mangled turret into the not mangled turret.
Which crashes the second turret as well.
It's just daka 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 daka. As it crumbles, it lifts into the air and launches at the other one.
Oh, you see that? It's like billiards. Well, I knocked the first one into the other one.
And Gabruk turns around and laughs in triumph.
Indeed.
As the massive green skin just steps out and just opens fire with this spinning machine of death into the first turret. You see Tacitus step out behind him, and you can see these coruscating arcs of purplish lightning arcing out from underneath his hood as he brings a hand up and swipes it to the right as the falling turret slams into the second one.
Well then, problems dealt with. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
Looking at the litany was written on the far wall in gore.
Yeah, in gore, and there are body parts on the ground.
So, question: how exactly does the remembrancer work?
So the omophagia is it's not specific, but basically you can consume an amount of biological matter and gain a certain amount of memory from the thing that you eat. It's not always specific and it's not always helpful. But typically speaking, it'll be the last memories of the thing before it died, but they'll oftentimes be very hazy.
Would it be worth doing that here?
You might get something.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up a piece of meat and eat it.
Oh, I
So-
thought that was
So yes,
normally.
for those of you who aren't Space Marines, you watch as Tacitus pulls down the lower end of the mask, revealing his complete sculpted jawline, and he reaches down and picks up this severed arm, basically, and lifts it to his mouth and takes a massive bite out of it. As the gore runs
See,
down his
now
face.
this is curious because I thought you kind of frowned on cannibalism usually. I have gotten my own piece and I'm waiting
He
to
sort of-
see what happens.
sort of chews and swallows. And the processing of the memories that you receive takes about a second, so it doesn't take even that long. But basically, you feel terror. You feel the unending terror of someone being pursued by death. And you experience this. This was one of the workers on this asteroid. Was fleeing from armored giants, clad in hate and darkness, and as he ran, he hears screams from the couple dozen other people on the station that were all being gunned down in perfect unison. And you feel that flash of agony as he takes a bolt shell to the leg that completely destroys the entire appendage, because he's just a normal human. He's not designed to take those hits. And as he collapses to the ground, you just get the faintest flash of a grill faceplate and bright red vision lenses on a steel gray mask.
So that'd be Iron Warriors.
And then nothing else.
So, in response to Sidra, this isn't cannibalism. The God Emperor has gifted us the ability to receive memories from the recently deceased. This worker was killed by Iron Warriors.
Also, it's not strictly speaking cannibalism, because Space Marines aren't strictly speaking human anymore.
That's
That's
Gob-
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Gabrick has picked up one of the legs and takes a bite, and looks over at Tacitus and says,
Hey, for a no big beaky, you's all right, eh?
Look over at the orc. Drop
holding
the
it like
limb.
holding it like a turkey leg at a Ren fair.
Yeah.
I'm catching that. That's food right
I
there.
just dropped the limb.
Upon seeing the
The
three of
food,
you,
the bodies here have been tainted by chaos. I would not suggest eating them.
It's like half our party is chowing down.
upon initially seeing Tacitus take a bite out of the leg, Shokai's technical drone emits a series of beeps that end in an upward inflection as one would when asking a question. And her comms antennae twitch. That is
Why
an
is the
eyebrow
big
raise.
human eating the little human?
So yeah, I did follow that up with I wouldn't recommend eating them. They've been tainted by chaos.
Does it taste chaos tainted?
It tastes like Humi.
No, it's all right. Little one's got the right idea, ain't you?
And Gabrick will sort of reach out and sort of up to you how it is interpreted, but will sort of punch you on the shoulder while smiling.
Sidra hits the ground.
Flies into a wall.
Yeah, bear in mind, orcs are typically speaking about as big as Space Marines, and oftentimes bigger and stronger.
Okay, fair. I have a strength of 4 though. I don't know. I kind of feel like I should roll to see.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna roll athletics. Just see what happens. I'm curious.
I have a strength of 5. That's low for a Space Marine.
Oh, that's 3. Okay. She doesn't move weirdly.
He takes it.
That's
Right.
what Gabrick was expecting. So
What was the
Right then, I'll keep it.
what was the direction that we had seen from the?
They were trying to run away, like out towards the port.
And the maps had indicated which direction would be the way towards the central area.
In further into the facility, it would be to the right where the turrets were.
So indicating down that hallway. Well, if we wish to find the remainder of these Chaos Marines and see what this means, I say indicating the litany, well, we should go this way. Look over.
Mira will start heading that way.
Right.
Gita and Mira, would you like to lead?
Sure.
Yes. Helmet's back off, tucked above, underneath the jump pack, in between the jump pack and her bolt pistol.
Chain swords out.
Yep, chain swords are out.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep my 4-sword drawn. It's in my hand as we walk.
Yeah, I think I'm on full alert here. All the drones keeping eyes out.
Phaedra has tucked various body parts underneath the pile of stuff and is keeping her hands tucked away right now.
Gabrick will hand another piece to them as they start to walk.
Her, yes, thank
Her.
you.
Weird dynamic already.
We have a weird bunch up here.
Yes, yes, we do.
Gabrick has now mentally earmarked at least 2 people as being in the protein is protein camp. So
Yes. No, listen, once I got like just weeks and weeks of no food, but these weird bug things that were kind of glowy, and you just, at a certain point, you stop caring and you just take what's there and you save it until it starts to go a little off. And then you just keep going a little bit longer than that. And then eventually it starts to give you weird sort of daydreams. And then you stop. But until then,
Right. Yeah, right. Pain boys say you should stop eating things once they make you go to sleep.
it's true too. I like you. I hold up my hand for a fist bump.
I like me too.
And punch the fist.
Can I get my my wrath?
Yeah, you can get your wrath for that.
Wait! My only goal here. Okay, I'm done. All along.
What was that one for?
Objectives.
Describe a desperate act of survival you attempted under difficult circumstances.
Nice.
I don't know
Last
what
time
Galbraith's objective currently is, but
Yeah.
Get into the biggest scrap possible, and also find a bigger shooter.
Nice.
oh no, like there's role playing objectives that you can get for your archetypes and races that are like they're little small character moments that if you fulfill them during a session, you get an extra point of wrath.
And you get
I know. His
session.
is get into a big scrap and find a bigger shooter.
Ah, nice.
There you go. Fair.
That's hilarious.
Beautiful.
I didn't realize there was extra objectives for the flash kits. That's amazing.
I think I might have grabbed those from the knobs, but I apologize. I don't remember which book they were from.
Yeah.
But there was definitely a very orky list that I picked from.
It's fair.
All right, so yeah,
Onward then.
onward.
Yep.
Mine for this week is reference the codex, the codex Astartes in for a situation. Describe how the codex Astartes applies or does not apply to the current situation. Yeah, so
Quoting books at us.
yep, I get to quote the litany. It's my job as the librarian.
So you move further into the facility, and as you go, you are just seeing signs of absolute massacre. Corpses strewn across hallways, bodies that have been completely destroyed, blood spattered across walls. It is the site of a horror show. You can see score marks from bolt detonations and power weapons being used, scraping walls. You can see las burns from where the defenders attempted to put up a fight and failed miserably. And eventually, you come across another message written on one of the walls in the gore of the people around. This one says, "From faith cometh honor."
Does this mean anything, librarian?
It's part of an ancient litany from before the heresy. I'm not certain whose. I am assuming now it is something important to the Iron Warriors.
Everyone make me an awareness roll.
Sure.
Though the forces of chaos do not always act with thought in mind, it could also just be something they remember.
7 successes.
3.
5.
2. Ooh,
3.
that's 4
Hey!
actually.
4,
Got
sorry.
one this time.
Nice.
You got 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's a 6.
Why are you only rolling 1 dice if you have a pool of 2?
No, he's rolling 2. One's the wrath die. One is always the wrath die.
No, it says pool of dice 2d6, but number of dice rolled and the icons rolled is only 1 die.
Yeah, it's because one die is a regular die, the other one's a wrath die.
Oh,
Over the
okay.
wrath die result.
Okay,
The wrath die is kept separate from the rest of the pool.
got it. I was thinking the wrath die was literally separate from the pool. So it's like
No, it's still a
rolling-
mint number.
like if you were rolling 2 dice, you'd be rolling 2 and the wrath. But I got it now.
Oh yeah.
I understand now.
So I
Silly
think
question.
Mira's
Should I be
the...
rolling awareness for my drones as well?
You can if you want to.
All right.
Do they have a
As
separate
well.
awareness from you?
Yes, they do.
Cool.
There you go.
It's not a high awareness, but
Yeah.
actually it's pretty decent.
Got 4 on that one.
So Mira's the one that saves you all, or maybe if she reacts in time. As
I have an implant for that.
as the group is preparing to move on from this, Mira, you spot the pressure plate hidden underneath one of the corpses that will presumably set off some form of trap when the group passes over it.
I just hold out the swords immediately and stop since I'm in the front. And then with one of the swords, I just point it out and say, there's some sort of trap right there.
They've gone through a lot of trouble to trap a station they've already taken. Though, now that I think on it, I haven't heard any cries of chaos.
Yes.
I knew we was going to be coming.
Yeah. Also, why they might have the bomb carts back there?
Well, bomb carts as a precaution would be understandable even if you were maintaining, but this is an expectation. I say indicating the trap underneath the body. One's precautionary, one is intentional.
All right. Would it be to disable a trap, or now that we know it's there, can
It'd
we
be a
like
tech
go
roll.
around it? Attack?
Yeah, could we move around it now that we know that's there?
You could theoretically avoid it, yeah. It was placed right in the path where people would be walking, so...
And is it a pressure plate that covers the whole width of the hallway, or is it just...
It's like dead center. You can theoretically scooch around it very carefully. Space Marines will have a harder time.
And the battle suit and the orc.
Yeah.
I mean, how high is the ceiling?
Yeah, it's high enough. The ceiling's high enough that the battle suit can just jet over it.
Yeah, that's what I planned on doing. I know I'm okay.
I could also carry passengers.
We could...
in theory. I've never actually lifted a Space Marine.
Oh, I can... William, what does it mean when it says I can choose to bank up to 2 exalted icons for glory per test instead of just 1?
That means you can get 2 glory instead of 1 on any test.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool. You need to remember that.
Well, if we want, I can try and get it so it won't set something off.
It'd be easy if we could simply avoid it first. Until we know what it does, or if anybody is monitoring it.
All right.
Can you take the splody bitch with you if you turn it off?
Possibly.
Let's turn it off.
Yes. Better than not have it.
Mm-hmm.
Something in the back of our minds. I could assist you if you'd like.
Sure. And
So
I
one,
will.
one person leading, one person assisting. The person who is leading can make the roll. The person who is assisting can hit the assist button.
Yes, I would like to.
I will step back and let them explode if it happens.
I
Same.
don't want to do this. Okay.
I will get
This is
real
what-
close and watch.
This is what the glory's for, because I'm going to use
Yeah.
one to increase my dice pool.
Uh-huh.
All right, so who's rolling, who's assisting?
I'm assisting.
Okay.
How are you assisting?
I
Hold this.
will... Yeah. So there's a body on top of the pressure plate. I will try to... I'll put the chain swords away and just try to make as much room without moving the body as a lot. I just kind of want to... Yeah, I don't know. I've never defused a bomb before, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
That's fair. So Mira, go ahead and make me a survival. Hit the assist button on your survival skill.
Survival or tech?
Survival, because the skill
Okay.
the skill that's assisting doesn't have to be the same skill that's being rolled.
Okay, cool. In that case, I am going to, I'm going to use a glory to increase my dice pool.
How much glory are you spending?
Just one.
Cool. So I'll drop that down to 5 glory that you've got now.
So bonus die 1.
Nice.
8 successes.
Only needed 1 to assist, and you can shift both of those exalted icons to give more bonus dice.
I will do that.
So that will give the person
2 extra.
making the actual roll 3 extra dice.
3 extra dice.
Okay.
Cool.
3.
One for succeeding, 2 for each of your 2 for the 2 exalted icons.
Okay. So I have 3 extra, and I have a skill of 6 in tech intellect. Gives me 9.
Well,
Let's
plus
see.
your intellect. Was your combined total 6 on that?
Yeah, combined total 6. I'm gonna use some glory as well. Just
How much glory?
2. I don't want to blow up.
All right.
It's a solid plan.
Down 3 glory.
That gives me how many? 5 extra dice?
Yes.
Okay. 5. I think that goes right here. Yes, bonus die. Okay. Here goes. Hey! That is
8.
8.
So, working with this kind of machinery is delicate, especially because you're pretty certain that the pressure plate has been depressed by the body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just waiting for that pressure to lift before it detonates.
Yep. Good thing
So
I
you're
didn't try and
working-
eat that one.
Very carefully. And you manage to very, very quietly and carefully worm your way in and manage to pull the trigger out before it manages to release and manage to stop it from sending the signal, and the bomb
Yep.
does not go off.
Do I indeed find some explosives?
You do.
I
You find a bundle of 2 melted charges.
Ooh.
These are the kind of explosives you use to take out tanks.
Yeah.
right. One for me, one for you. I will pass one over to our new orc friend.
That's nice.
Albrecht, you have a melted charge.
And I also have a melted charge. Woo!
Hey, fancy lad, look, a new one.
And he holds it up so the squig can look at it, and then takes it and slaps it onto the side of his gun.
This is one of them beaky tank buster bombs. So, with the explosive diffused,
Yes.
you make your way further in. And
Wait. I would
Yes?
like to question Tacitus.
Yes.
It seems odd that they are using such our enemy is using such extensive measures. Is this normal for them?
Do I know anything about the Iron Warriors' tactics and things?
roll me Scholar. Or leadership, whichever you feel like.
They are the leadership's better. Yeah, Scholar 6, leadership's 8, so we'll go with leadership.
Nice.
So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 successes.
Oh no, 11. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Yep.
I wasn't counting the 1 success that the rat die automatically has.
Yep.
So 11 successes. The Iron Warriors. This is exactly their modus operandi. Actually, the Iron Warriors are ultimate siege masters, and particularly very good at trap setting. They are very good at basically. You would suspect there aren't any Iron Warriors left here right now, and they left this place to wreak havoc on whoever came to reclaim it. Because the Iron Warriors' methods tend to be they are some of the best in the Chaos armies at breaking sieges and at creating fortifications. And their fortifications tend to be devious and dangerous. They will use any sort of underhanded tactics to kill as many enemies as possible. you would suspect this place is a warren of traps.
The Iron Warriors are siege breakers and trap layers, so it is entirely within their modus operandi. It is possible there is not a single Iron Warrior on the station, and they've simply rigged it to kill anyone who tries to retake it.
It just seems odd to me that they would go to such extensive measures and leave no defensive personnel behind at all.
Well, the measures, their intention was never to keep the station. It was merely to kill everyone aboard and kill as many people who come to reclaim it as possible, while suffering no losses of their own.
How strange.
We're fortunate it was the Iron Warriors, not the Alpha Legion.
What makes them different?
They would have remained in force or destroyed the facility entirely.
Well then.
So,
Hearing that, I guess we'll keep an eye out now for more traps.
Yes. Keep eyes open.
So, there are many, many more traps as you make your way into the central areas. There's a So where are you headed specifically? In the center of this place, there is a security area that would have probably the best view of the facility as a whole, if that's the place you want to try and get to.
Yeah, that'd probably be it. Just
Like
to confirm the clear of the station. Because the sooner we can confirm there are no Iron Warriors on the station, we can radio back to Faust, let him know the situation, and get a cleanup crew in here.
So whoever is leading the trek to the, just to generally cover how your group manages to handle the numerous traps that the Iron Warriors have laid throughout. Someone give me a survival check.
I'm pretty good at survival. I have a 9 in it.
Anyone in the party can assist with this if they have some method of doing so.
I think Gabruk is definitely not. I think he's actually getting more and more agitated when it doesn't look like there's immediately going to be a fight somewhere.
This is fair.
Can I assist with this check?
Yes, absolutely. How would you do so?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm still new to this.
So basically what the group is having to do is try and survive any number of traps. Do you have any particular skills that would help with either noticing traps, diffusing traps, or just avoiding them that you think you might be able to roll?
Or keeping us corralled enough so that like the one of the Space Marines or one of the bigger people don't accidentally step on something when I point it out.
She is one of the Space Marines.
This is fair. This is fair.
Like an awareness roll or a survival check?
Would heightened senses work?
Yeah, actually, you can make an awareness roll with your rank bonus, which will be your with your lupine senses. You can make it just so you can hit the. Let me make sure you got the bonus for your rank included.
Could I also assist not by like looking out, but for like calling upon precedent that I would have memorized of previous Iron Warrior fortifications as to like, places where they are particularly known to set traps?
Yeah. So you can hit the leadership assist button for your end, and Holly, you can hit the awareness assist button.
Okay.
So that's 7.
Oh.
3.
Nice.
And if I can, I'll assist more with diffusing them, actually using tools and such.
You can make me a tech assist roll.
Okay. 3 with 1 exalted, and I'll shift that to a bonus extra die.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll shift my exalted to a bonus extra die as well.
Okay. Anyone else helping?
I'm trying to think of how survival can help here.
Or
Maybe
awareness?
I feel like no, that's more awareness. Sorry, I'm trying to think. We've got tech covered.
Determining the minimum safe distance if we don't diffuse it.
Actually, yeah, that could work.
Yeah, you can roll out survival if you want to.
All right, I'll assist with survival.
Stopping Gobrook from just running ahead and stepping on things.
5 all up.
We're rolling really well.
And yeah, I'll shift that exalted to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that might break the maximum bonus dice limit. 1 second.
Yeah, I think our max is
right,
7.
Yeah, of course.
So I think you guys, I mean, that means you have really assisted in this.
Yep.
Tiers, maximum bonus dice. Max dice bonus at tier 4 is 7. Yeah, you guys.
Yep.
So you add 7 dice to this roll.
All right, cool. I'm
We're
ready.
helping.
Yay.
You have literally helped as much as is possible to help.
Here we go.
Wow.
Holy shit.
A lot.
14.
Just a lot.
Yeah, 14 successes.
Yep.
With a show of skill that would make the greatest of the Raven Guard scouts proud, the group of you managed to scout your way through and past each of the individual traps that the Iron Warriors have left behind them. And as you pass another one of these things on the wall as you go, you find "From Honor Cometh Iron." And then eventually you arrive at the security room. And inside, you find that you were not actually alone on this station. But the individual inside the security room is far and away from what you would have expected to be here. As you enter the room, you are greeted with a unique type of Astartes armor, not of black and not of steel gray and black and yellow chevroning, but of an icy blue with a golden, almost brass trim. Armor that is incredibly ornate with a long flowing robe that seems to have formed out of the back of it. This power pack on the back of the armor extends out, fashioned the vents fashioned as if demonic claws holding on to the vent orbs. On the left shoulder is just a skull, and the helm that turns to face you is a skull-faced helm with a series of long curving horns stretching out in a fan from the top of the helmet as this figure turns with this tall, ornate, unnatural-looking staff in his right hand that curves into a pair of prongs.
An Alpha Legion sorcerer.
As this individual turns and looks at the group of you, the eye lenses of his helm a faint, eerie red. Ah, I see you finally arrived.
You are brave to stand alone, sorcerer.
Is it bravery for one to stand before insects?
I charge.
I am
was gonna
also
say,
charging, but psychic.
Yes.
If I hadn't muted myself, I would say I would very much like to shoot this individual.
We are all firing.
Yeah. Gobrook says,
Is this the scrap what was promised? 7 against 1. That's not a scrap.
but is also shooting.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it away. I'm just.
And yes, he said 7. He's counting Fancy Lad.
Lots.
Okay, so
I need to give you guys all your tokens. Make sure they're all there. Let me. Get this loaded. So. All right. I'm going to spend one of those 2 ruin that I've got and have the enemy seize the initiative.
Okay.
You do that.
And we are at 3 glory right now, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because I used some of it, so I wasn't sure how hard it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm down to 1 wrath.
It's all right. This means that I'm the only one. I'm the only one injured going into this, and it's just shock.
That's fair.
And we have a space wolf that can get in melee, so I don't need to get that close.
So, this individual looks across the group of you as you all pull weapons and draw out and prepare to attack. And he just looks across the group of you. Oh. This is so far beneath me. And he is going to manifest a quick psychic power.
Can I deny the witch? I don't know how that works.
Let's
Be
see.
sure to chop those legs off to bring you down to our level
There
then.
it is. Deny the witch. All characters with a psychic keyword can attempt to interfere with the activation of a psychic power within range. The character must be aware of the power being used in order to use Deny the Witch. Often it is recommended that character who intends to use Deny the Witch to use the hold action option. So you have to...
You have to prepare to,
you have to be
basically.
already prepared to deny the
If you're expecting the person to be more psychically gifted than you are, you can say, I want to try and stop his next psychic power.
I identified him immediately as a sorcerer. Does that count?
Not quite, because he acted first.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next time, though.
Next time.
It's a good one.
So he's going to roll his psychic discipline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 successes.
That's a lot.
He only needs 7 for this power.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Beg your pardon.
All right, so all of you need to make an agility test.
Okay.
That's just
Just in the attributes tab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
1 success.
Oh, I got 2.
3 successes.
Oh, actually 3.
I would like to spend a wrath to re-roll that.
Go for it.
2, I'll take it.
None of you got 5 successes.
No.
So
One
you
of us
all
did.
One
I
of
did.
us did.
I did.
Oh!
3, 4, 5, 6.
Gobrook is not knocked prone,
Okay.
but the rest of you take, all of you take, all take 15 damage,
That's
which you can
absorbed by
subtract your resilience from.
Okay.
So that's 10 damage.
So 10.
Resilience.
Can
And
we
5
soak
damage.
this?
You can soak this.
Okay.
You take 15 damage each, and each of you who didn't make 5 successes on your agility test is knocked prone.
Okay, I'm gonna try and soak that because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm out.
So that's-
We just hit the soak button.
Yes.
so you
Yeah.
gain a
And you
shot.
take 1 strain automatically for trying to soak, and every success you make will turn one of that wound into a strain.
So I don't take any damage because my resilience is 10.
Well, it's 15 damage, so that would be 5
Hey.
damage to you.
And
That's-
then I rolled.
Oh, you rolled
5
in a
for
soak.
soak.
Yeah, so you take 6
So
soak.
four.
You
So
take,
I'm just knocked prone.
you take 6 strain, and are knocked prone because it turns wounds into strain.
Okay.
4. Okay, so
How do you roll soak?
There will be in the combat tab.
Under
Uh-huh.
rolls. it
There
says
will be a
soak
button that
damage.
says soak damage.
I took 2 wounds.
Okay,
and
that was not
this
good.
was also.
On the far right.
Oh, okay.
that was very not good. Ow.
Can we at any point spend wrath to restore shock
On your turn.
on your turn?
Okay.
Is that an action, or is it just a free thing you can do?
It's just a thing you can. Let me check real quick. Wrath. Restore shock.
Once per round and counts as an action.
Yeah, once per round counts as an action. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I can't afford to do that right now, so
Which you can take the multi-action thing, which will make the other thing you try and do 2 difficulty higher, but you can do it.
Okay.
Where do we put damage?
Subtract it from your current wounds and shock.
Okay.
Other than spending wrath, how do you recover shock?
You can spend wrath, or someone with Medicaid tools can try and heal you up,
or you can rest.
or you can rest.
Yep.
Shock's way
Have a little lie down.
shock's way easier to restore than wounds are,
Yep.
and shock is typically speaking the only thing you can recover in combat.
Okay.
Wounds are much harder to recover mid-combat.
And if you spend a wrath, you recover all of it?
1d3 plus 3, I think. Or is it?
Okay.
No, sorry, it's
Yeah,
1d3 plus.
1d3 plus 3.
Is it?
And
Okay, cool.
It's,
I called
it's
it.
the button that says recover shock.
Okay, so how much did people take? I'm assuming everyone has done the math.
I took
Yep.
2 wounds.
6 shock.
Cool.
2 wounds.
so-
and
5 shock and 6 wounds.
2 wounds, 4 shock.
Six shock, 2 wounds.
All right.
That includes the automatic shock.
How do you determine how much shock and how much?
So you take 1 automatically for trying to soak,
Okay.
and then every success turns one of those wounds that you would have taken into a shock.
So you.
So
just
for
take
you,
6
you
shock.
made 7 successes. So you would turn 7 of the wounds you would take into shock.
Okay.
You're only going to get 5 because you have the same resilience I do, I believe. So you should.
Wait,
just gain
what's your resilience?
Doesn't-
You guys have 10?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they both have 10
Yeah.
resilience.
So you should just.
So you would take 6 shock and no wounds.
Okay.
Oh wait, is that supposed to be our resilience or is because I've got
Yeah, it's your resilience.
oh so
combined
I'm only
total.
in 5. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I can't do math. 5. I thought it was armor value for some reason.
Armor value adds to your resilience.
5, and then that was turning 4 of those 5, I think, for me. Yes. So 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 wound. Okay, I'm much better off. Okay. Whew. It's like that one nearly killed me.
By contrast, I've taken 1 shock and 4 wounds
Ugh.
because my soak roll was trash.
It happens. Okay.
I figured you'd have a higher resilience than 10.
And-
What's your resilience?
11,
Nice.
5 of which is armor.
Your battle suit and my power suit have the same armor value.
At that point, the
So he's already taken his initiative
yeah,
slot.
he has taken his turn, and he looks down at the group of you. Please just stay down, and I'd be more than happy to tell you what's happened here and be on my way.
This is absolutely the wrong setting for a villain to try to monologue.
Gabrok is still on his feet and is shooting
Actually,
as soon as he is able.
You'll find this is absolutely the right place for a villain to monologue. People monologue during fights all the time in 40K.
Yeah, but it's not like a stop attacking and I'll tell you what you want. No, we're going to be attacking and either you're going to talk or not. There's no.
All right, so
stopping.
who's going next?
I'll let Gobruk go since Gobruk.
Yeah, Gobrick's the only one still on his feet.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. What is the multi-action penalty?
It is basically for every action you try and take, the difficulty for each action you take goes up by 2. So if you try and take 2 actions, both of them have the difficulty increased by 2. Try and take 3, they go up by 4, etc.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 actions just because I would like to recover shock.
Right, so you take 1 action to recover shock, and then your shooting difficulty is going to be up by 2.
Woo. All right. I'm back up to max shock. And then how do I manually increase the difficulty on my shooting?
That's just your target number of how many successes you're going to need. So
Okay.
I
right.
do that on my end.
Fair. Okay. All right. Making that roll now. Holy shit.
Nice.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 successes.
Oh, and
Sheesh.
Shit.
stars.
Where'd that attack roll come from?
A very large
Daka
gun.
is where that came from.
Oh yeah, you got the 3 extra bonus dice on
Yep.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Daka.
That might actually hit Ariman.
Oh,
1
Power
second.
Man. Nice. We got a named sorcerer.
Let me check
here.
Ariman's stats here.
Go back
One
to
sec.
fucking with the blood ravens, Araman.
Fucking. Sometimes it's hard to navigate. There we go. So that will. How many successes is that?
I think it's
16.
10,
Yeah.
11, 12,
16.
13. Yeah,
or
okay, yeah.
15 total, actually.
Plus 1 for the wrath die.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
16.
Sorry,
16. Yes, that will definitely hit his defense of 8.
You got as many successes as you had dice.
You need 8 successes to successfully hit him for whatever you want to do with those icons.
Shit.
So you
Okay.
only need 1, 2, 3, 4,
All right.
5, 6,
So-
7, 8.
So then I can just play around with all 6 of the icons.
4.
Yeah, all the
So-
6s you can shift as long as you maintain 8 successes.
So you need
I mean,
to,
I'm
you need
definitely
to-
going to shift them to damage.
You need to
Yeah.
maintain 4 of those successes. Sorry, you need to maintain 3 of those successes. So that gives you 3 exalted icons you can shift to the damage if you want to do.
Okay. Oh, because they don't count as successes anymore once you shift them. I forgot
Yeah,
about
once
that.
you shift them, they drop
Actually,
2 of
wait.
your success total.
No.
That's
You only need to maintain 2 of those exalted icons. 'Cause you
so
got
I'm going to
5.
shift. I'm going to shift the remaining 4 to damage.
That's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you need to hold on to 2 of them.
Yep.
So you can, on your bonus die, you can change that from 1 bonus die to, or sorry, you can change that to 4 bonus die on your attack on your damage roll.
Is it too late? Because this is just dumb. But is it too late to choose to spend a reload to use my salvo to raise the success?
I would say
by
it's
5?
a little late now.
Okay, fair. Okay. All right. So yeah, so I'll shift 4 of them. And then just do I just raise the damage bonus dice by 4.
Well, raise it to 4 because you still had it on 1.
Yeah. All right. So that's damage rating is 12 on the Stas gun. So that's 16.
16 damage.
You still get the 6s count twice, right? Still
Yes,
on
6s still
okay.
count twice.
All right. Yeah, then it's 16.
Actually gets through his resilience and does a number of wounds. As the Snaz gun just unloads this wall of ammunition at this Chaos Sorcerer, most of the ammunition just sparks and pings off of his armor, but at least a couple of them do seem to punch through as he looks down at the wounds. Who's next?
I'll go next. The corrupted tongue of chaos has no hold here. I will call as I take 2 actions. I'm going to restore my shock. Of course, I only get 4 back. That's fine. And I'm going to... Was it more important to do mortal wounds to him, which are things that he can't absorb, or stop his next spell? I'm going to stand up and I'm going to hold my action to deny the witch.
Okay.
Because I think of the 2 psychers in the party, I think I'm the only one that has a chance of succeeding.
All right, who's next?
Mira will go. She'll get up and charge forwards at him. And I just realized that my dueling pistols don't let me reroll failures, but they do give me an extra bonus die for the attack. And I am taking the charge action, so dual wielder attack.
All right.
All right, so just...
And dual wielder lets you make those 2 attacks without having to get the extra.
Yeah, take the multi-action.
Yeah, just for 1 extra attack though.
Yep, and they have to be targeting the same target. So
you didn't want to take a 3rd action to increase your to recover some shock, did you?
yeah, I actually was going to do that. So it will be at a -2. So
Yeah,
I
so
just need to recover shock.
difficulty will go up by 2 on both of those attacks rather than just staying flat. But
Yeah. So recover shock. So cool. 5 shock recovered. And here comes the attack. Boom. So 7, 8 successes.
Which hit when Gilbrook was shooting, so...
8 successes.
So
unfortunately,
for
with
this
his defense raised by 2, that misses.
Okay.
So you bring your first chainsword in and strike down, and he just tilts his wrist, and the staff knocks it aside.
All right.
Second attack.
They're part of the same. I just make 1 attack.
Oh, is it just 1 attack?
Yeah. If it hits, then it he basically doubles the target, doubles their resilience, and I double the damage. And then
yeah, it qualifies as hitting them twice, basically.
Yeah. So, but both of them missed. So.
Yeah, you bring both of your chainswords in and you just deflects with the staff.
I'm
Who's
in
next?
his face though.
Who's up next?
I'll go. I'll do some creepy stuff. I'm just checking real quick here on if Life Leech does mortal wounds or not, because I don't know for sure. I don't think so, but I want to double check. Because those are ones he can soak then, right? Versus Smite, which are mortal wounds that he can't.
Most people cannot soak mortal wounds.
Okay. But Life Leech, it doesn't specifically say mortal wounds, unfortunately.
Unless you get the 3-point potency.
Okay.
But the difficulty number is the target's defense. So.
Okay, yeah. I see that, yeah. Well, let's try it. Let's see what this guy is made out of.
Smite might just be better, but
I'll go with Smite right now. I'm not too beat up yet. And it's a little bit easier. So difficulty is the target's defense.
Yep.
That's where the lightning spell is.
Yep,
yes.
Smite.
Biomancy. No.
So Smite.
Oh no, living lightning enhances you. It doesn't actually shoot lightning.
which I'm going to use a glory to, well, yeah, I'm going to use a glory to get an extra die in that, because that seems like a good idea. So we're down to 2 glory then?
Yep.
But that is 5, 6 successes.
Which will not hit him.
Dang it.
Wait,
Okay. Can I'm going to use I'm going to use a wrath to re-roll that.
You can reroll all your failures, so everything that didn't succeed.
Okay, so that's how many?
So that'd be
1, 2,
6
3,
dice.
4, 5, 6.
7.
Wait. 1, 2.
Everything that isn't a 4 or higher.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Okay. 7d6. Just gonna do it this way.
You can
Nice.
So that's much better.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You had 6 successes, and that's 7, 8, 9, 10.
6 plus 5, 11.
12. Count the rat die.
Oh, okay.
So that's 6
How
plus
many
6.
is that?
So that's 12.
Yeah, because that's 5, 6 counting your rat die normally.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. 12 successes. I assume that hits.
Yep, and that will hit, and you can shift both of those exalted icons if you want.
Yeah.
You have to be able to shift 3 exalted icons for the bonus to smite.
What?
Is it? Oh, you do. You do have to shift 3.
It's 3 to add an extra mortal wound to it.
But you can get a glory back if you want.
Yeah, I'll get a glory back. So we're back up to 3, and I'll do 1. Oh, I can only do the 3 on this smite.
Yeah.
That's the other one. Okay, yeah.
So roll me a
I'll get 1 to
D3.
glory.
Roll me a D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. D3. 1.
He's not going to bother soaking that.
Well, he can. It's mortal.
So you think.
Okay.
There are certain things that allow people to soak mortal wounds.
Darn it. Cool. I tried.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Certain powers.
All right, who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
Shank him in the face.
She is going to jump to her feet and shoot him.
All right. Just taking a shot, or are you going to take the extra action to regain some strain?
I'll take the extra action.
Okay, so your shot's difficulty is going to be up by 2, but you can roll a D3 plus 3 and regain that much strain. There's a regain strain button.
Yeah, in the combat tab.
Where is regain strain?
Recover shock under rolls.
Yeah, recover shock, rather. Sorry, strain's Star Wars.
Okay, I see it.
You get 4 shock back.
All right.
Which is more than you needed.
And I'm sorry, you said I'm at a penalty?
Yeah, so I determine because it's the difficulty number. So just make your attack roll like normal.
Okay.
Ooh. That is 7, 8, 9, which actually just hits. You can't shift anything, but you hit.
Yay.
So with the heavy bolt pistol,
DR 10 plus 1 extra die minus 1 AP.
does the bolt pistol have brutal?
The heavy
Does
bolt
have
pistol, yes, and AP minus 1.
Okay, so
It doesn't
that's
have
going to
bru-
be a D mod of 1.
it has salvo, but it doesn't have brutal. It's just bolt, Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, and Primaris.
The
That's
heavy
the
bolt
keyword.
pistol.
Yeah.
Do I roll damage?
Yeah, roll damage now.
All right.
Not quite. But it does a base damage of 10 with a AP minus 1, which is not enough to get through his armor. shot pings off of his armor. All right, I believe that leaves just our Tau,
Shokais.
Shokais.
All right, so
Let's go,
getting
Showcase.
back to her feet. And I'm going to unload both my weapons into this man. Let's start with the burst cannon. I will spend a reload to use its salvo for an extra 4 dice on the attack.
Oh, it does have brutal. I need to put that in my thing.
I will... Sure, I'll spend a wrath to re-roll the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10
got a lot to
dice
roll.
that didn't make it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yep. Do you have a penalty for double firing or?
My multi-tracker negates up to 2 points.
Okay. So yeah, that will absolutely hit. His unmodified defense is 7, so you can shift. I think all of them goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to hold on to one of them.
All right, I'll shift 2 into extra damage. That is
Nice.
4 extra
16,
damage. Yep.
16 total.
Definitely get past his armor and deal a number of wounds. All right, and then it's his turn.
I have a second shot.
Oh, sweet.
Plasma
All right,
rifle.
because you're drones and your plasma rifle. Yeah.
Yeah, plasma rifle first. 6, 7, 8, 9. All
Right,
up.
because you're firing different weapons, which means that they actually get different attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can shift one of those.
I will do so. That is another 16 damage, and this is at AP minus 3.
Ow. Yep. Okay.
Next question. Do my drones, do their actions interfere with each other in terms of multi-action penalties?
I will say yes because you're trying to control multiple drones at once.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you're the one that operates the
in that
drone
case,
controller.
I will just have the DX4 technical drone use its repair protocol. So he makes a DN3 tech test, and if he passes, I restore a wound and 1 more for each shift.
All right.
Oh,
Pass with a complication?
We had D66.
Oh boy. 63.
All right. Back complications. I really need to get a screenshot of this chart so I can put it up somewhere rather than having to go back to it all the time.
Spontaneous combustion.
If you burst into flames, somebody wanted you to.
Yep.
60 what now?
63.
Blinded. So your drone is short-circuited and been blinded for a round.
Yeah, must have taken some secondary damage from that initial blast. Systems are critical across the board anyway. Alright, I regain a wound. And that's all they're going to do.
All right. So
Why is everyone so squishy?
he looks over across the group of you all, still looking only lightly wounded by the sheer fusillade of damage that you've poured into him. Let it be known on this day that Azek Ahriman let you live, and told you that the iron blood is journeying to Inuit. If you hope to stop it from ravaging the places along its way, you'd best make your way to Ryza. And he turns, and you can attempt to deny the witch as he opens a portal.
I am attempting to deny the witch. Because priority number 1, kill the sorcerer. Deny the witch is just a psychic test. My DN is equal to the DN of the ability he is using plus 2.
All right, so his portal opening, you're going to be looking at a DN of 12 for you.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I can...
We have glory.
I also can just re-roll the wrath die once per test, so... yeah, I'll spend some glory to... I'll spend our last bit of glory to see if I can cancel this.
We don't have to... I looked at the rule real quick while stuff was going on. We don't actually have to spend glory unless, for bonus dice until after the roll, so you can wait and see if you need it. We probably will, but, you know.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. That's when we're actually supposed to do it.
All right. 8,
Ooh.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yes. Nice.
Successfully managed to deny this power. Which means that he will have to make you pay for that. As he prepares to cast to open the portal, you reach your hand out and shut off the magic, and he looks over his shoulder at you.
The light of the Emperor shines through my actions, witch.
He reaches over his shoulder with just the one hand. The light of the Emperor will not save you here. And he crushes his hand as he's going to spend a ruin to go again immediately.
Ah, damn it. I was going to try to seize your initiative.
I might die, but that was absolutely the thing an ultramarine librarian would do.
As he has to make 2 psychic tests now to manifest 2 different powers.
I want him to turn into a demon. That'll be easier to kill. He loses his armor. He gains a fuck ton of wounds, but he loses his armor.
Oh, he already had a fuck ton of wounds.
I know.
Okay, yeah. He manifests both of them. So, as he crushes his fist, another portal opens in front of him, and as he walks through, something else walks out.
Oh, no.
I don't get a second attempt to deny the witch?
What walks out?
So what steps out of this thing, of this hole in reality, is a small capering creature of bright pink flesh with far too many arms. Its body composed mostly of just a large mouth and these glowing yellow eyes and a series of tendrils spiraling back from its body as it walks on these 2 skinny legs and steps out of this hole, this capering creature.
See, I'm going to call that definitely chaos and not edible.
As now the horror gets to go.
It's
I'm going to seize the initiative and cut this bitch.
Go for it. You can seize the initiative and attack the big horror.
Seize the initiative
right.
and cut this bitch.
All right, so another dual chainsword attack. Is it in the same space? Do I have to move it all?
No, you don't have to move it all.
Okay. So quick question. Do the dueling grips, they only apply to the one for both of them, right? It's not one per sword? Or is it one per sword?
Let me check. Is dueling grip from the core book?
Yeah, it's in the core book. I have it right now. I did have it.
Weapon upgrades. Dueling grip. Okay. Upgrade plans +1 die to ranged or melee attacks using weapons. This upgrade may only be applied to pistols and one-handed melee weapons such as swords, axes, and knives. I would say if you're making an attack if you're making a dual wielding attack, they would both apply.
Okay, cool. It's just what I wanted to make sure. So, boom. Wow.
Nice.
1. So that's 3. So 11, 12.
Its defense is only 3.
All right, then I will shift all 3 of those into extra damage. Or I'll 2 of them into extra damage, 1 back to glory.
Rip and tear.
So 2 extra bonus die. Only didn't add the extra 2. Put it in the... Oh, that's why. I put it in the damage mod, not the bonus die. Keep getting those mixed up. So 2 extra damage. So that's base damage is that's 22 normally. So they've doubled their resilience.
All right. And I need you to make a fear test real quick.
Yep. Which one is that? Resolve?
Yes, I believe it's a resolve roll.
Nice.
3, 4.
All right, so you were indeed able to do this normally.
Okay. So that's... So it's 24 damage. They double their resilience, and then... Let's see. As the total damage from both weapons applies the result against double the target's resilience for determining the extent of damage. So, yeah.
Okay, 1 sec. Yeah, so how much damage is that total?
24.
24, and it only applies double its resistance.
Yes.
That will kill it. And so as you carve through this pink horror, you split it in half. And then the 2 halves turn blue and get back up again.
Ah.
I would like to spend the glory to seize the initiative.
Go for it.
And I would like to smite one of these, not with smite, but with a force sword. And so I basically come over, so Mira, just cross cuts with the chain swords and rips them in half. And then as they get back up from over one shoulder, a force sword just slams down.
Yeah, she dove forward, and then just one went up and one went down, and then split it.
Because force swords are good against demons. So this is... Blam. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to hit.
Yep. Their defense is still 3.
So I can drop 3 of those into extra damage. I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll drop 3 of those into extra damage, which is DB. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Damage is 17 with a -3 AP. So that's 18 minus
Which
3
will,
AP.
so you carve through this blue horror, and the 2 halves of the blue horror turn brimstone black and stand up again.
Fuck.
So
How
then,
much glory do we have right now?
3, I believe, still.
I would have just spent one, so it would have been 2.
You are down 2. Hang on, I haven't been.
So we should
You
be
just spent
we
2
should
of
be-
it. You're down to 1.
3.
No, so we're down to
Well,
1.
one of my exalted.
You spent one.
I
so
shifted
so you're
back.
actually at 2
Right,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're at 2.
Let me see how many times you can seize the initiative real quick. I have too many tabs open. Glory.
It doesn't have a.
Can spend a point of glory to seize initiative during combat. Page 205. Unfortunately, all the page references aren't always accurate.
Nope.
Yeah, they're always
Players
one
may-
page off.
Players may only choose to seize the initiative once before allowing the GM to choose a character to act next.
Yeah.
Technically, that shouldn't have happened, but oh well.
Now we
So
know.
it goes.
Now we know.
So, Ariman off the field. This is going to be. Let's have the remaining blue horror go. The brimstone horrors can have their turn later.
Oh wait, they're multiplying?
I assume
Yeah,
they're getting
each-
smaller every time
each
we
half.
every time we
Oh,
kill
I
them,
misunderstood. Okay, that's worse.
Yeah, they split into smaller pieces.
Cool.
We just gotta keep hacking until they're too small to do anything.
Till the squig can eat them.
Yeah,
All right, it's fancy lads' time to shine.
we gotta just dice them up like onions.
So the blue horror reaches into its maw with some of its too many hands and pulls fire out of its mouth and just throws it at Tacitus.
Is this a melee attack or a ranged attack?
This is a ranged attack.
Okay. My defense is 4. My defense against melee is 5. Because my sword has the parry quality.
So blue horrors are not quite as good as pink horrors are at killing things.
Good. Because the brimstone horrors are even worse.
4. That will hit you exactly though.
Is it Ty's match?
Yes,
Defense?
it's basically your armor class.
Okay.
So that's going to be 8 damage, but it does have the blaze quality. So let me
I
see what that
absorb
does.
all of that.
Yeah, let me see if it sets you on fire.
Any weapon incorporates fire, burning chemicals. Any character, vehicle, or object hit by a blaze weapon is set on fire. See fire 275. Which is on the wait.
That's what I mean. The page references are really messed up sometimes.
See fire on same page, except fire is not on same page.
This is why I can't wait for the new edition that Cubicle 7's doing rather than Ulysses.
You're set on
See.
fire. See fire. Where fire?
Where fire?
Why
Where-
fire?
Where fire? Combat effect.
247 or 248 in the PDF.
Burning.
Thank you.
At least
Fire.
Burning character takes
Just take D3 mortal wounds at the start of their turn. So at the start of your turn, you're gonna burn.
In addition, a burning character must pass a willpower test or suffer the effects of being pinned until the end of the round.
All right. So you're on fire.
Unless
Someone
somebody-
else's turn.
Unless somebody else puts me out.
Okay.
But I've already taken my
Uh,
turn, so I don't have to worry about it later.
Well, this seems not good. There's one pink one, one blue one,
There's
two black
one
ones?
there's one blue one and 2 black ones. The pink one is
One-
dead, and that's why it became blue ones.
Got it. Well, I'm gonna try and life leech the blue one because that seems like not so good, and I don't want to be injured. So DN is the target's defense,
Only 3.
and I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the danger of horrors isn't that they're individually tough, it's that they split into lots of things and all of their attacks light you on fire.
Okay, so 7.
You only need 3 to succeed.
Sweet.
So you can get rid of 2 of... You can shift 2 of those.
Shift 2? Okay. And I'm actually going to...
Which can make it deal an extra wound.
Yeah. I want these to be... well, these seem kind of wimpy. Yeah, I'll do it for 1 wound. So that's just plus wound. It's not an extra die, right? Yeah. So it's a D. So they suffer 1d6 shock. So I'm going to do the shock first. So that's 5 shock, and then this one is wounds. 3 wounds total with that plus 1.
This is where you discover that demons don't suffer shock.
Oh, okay. Darn it. Well, 3 wounds.
Which it absorbs with its resilience. All right. So that's going to bring up one of the brimstone horrors.
And they do suffer 3 wounds?
No, they don't because of their resilience.
Dang it. Okay, never mind. Actually, I have a question on that.
Yes.
Because with Life Leech, I target one enemy with a ranged psychic attack. If hit, the target suffers 1d6 shock and 1d3 wounds. They heal half the shock and wounds rounded up inflicted on the target. Do I still heal because I did damage, or because it didn't?
I will say yes, barring rules clarification from other sources.
Okay, fair enough.
You will get half of the shock and wounds rounded up. So you will get 3 shock back and 1 wound back.
Okay.
Rounded up, so 2 wounds.
It is, rounded up. But
I have a question.
Half rounded up, half of 2 is still 1.
It was 3 wounds,
3.
though.
Oh, 3 wounds? Oh, yeah, so
yeah, because she shifted.
Sorry, yeah, you got the extra shift.
I only have 1 wound, but you know.
Because this technically isn't damage, does resilience apply?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's not. They don't take damage. They just.
It's not damage. They just take it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just wound.
In which case, I would say that you won't get the shock back because he doesn't actually suffer shock.
Okay, that's fair.
Hang on
that's
a second,
fair.
Though. But then why would you need to upgrade it to mortal wounds if it's already just
because soaking is not resilience.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Got it.
Anyway. Cool. I do damage. As Sidra sort of hunkers down and like blue lightning kind of.
All right, so
across.
The blue horror is still standing now. And now one of the brimstone horrors is going to go.
When everything gets cold around me.
Yep. One of the brimstone horrors is going to throw their fire at you. What's your defense?
Fair. My defense is not great.
Is it better than 2?
I think it's 3.
Well, then they miss you.
Yes. Okay. I dodge.
Who's up next?
I'll go.
All right.
I'll go for one of the brimstone.
All right.
The one that hasn't gone yet.
And I will shoot it.
Shoot it or use your knife?
Let your knife do more damage?
I'll use my knife on it.
Right. That's a critical hit.
Nice.
So, wrath die.
Oh, I critted on my force sword. If that matters.
Let's hope the critical hits are actually on page 223.
I don't know if it matters because I killed it, but I did crit the one that I hit with my force sword.
Yeah, it didn't matter because you killed it.
I mean, just in case. I know it was 18 damage.
All right, hit the D66 button for me, Holly.
And force weapons ignore demon resistances, I believe.
Explode it.
D66.
In the roles area on the combat tab, that button that is actually two D6s next to each other.
Ah, I see. Okay.
51. Overpowering assault. A stunning blow sends the foe lurching away, senses blurred by the brutal impact. Target suffers plus 1d6 shock and is staggered. They don't actually suffer any shock, but they are staggered.
Haha.
And then go ahead and roll damage, assuming this doesn't just kill it. So that's 14 damage. It's just dead. And the Brimstone horror does not split into two smaller horrors. Brimstone is as small as they get.
Yay!
Yay.
Or
We've
they
cut our
just
way to
dissolve
the
into
outside.
those little suit sprite things from what, Spirited Away?
The other Brimstone horror is going to go and try and throw fire at Gita now. What's your defense, Gita?
5.
2, 4. It just hits. It can't do enough damage to get past your armor, but it does light you on fire.
The 2 Space Marines are on fire.
Who's next?
I think Gobber's the only one who hasn't gone this turn.
Also,
I haven't gone as well, but
Oh no, you
if you
go
like.
ahead then. No, you go ahead.
All right. So it's blue one blue one, and one brimstone one, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot the brimstone one with my burst cannon.
can your drones put out
Actually, no,
fires?
with my plasma rifle.
Does one of your drones have a fire extinguisher?
That's odd.
Nice.
You hit a lot.
There we go. It
The
took
defense
a while.
the defense is 3.
It took a while for it to show up. That is also a critical.
Yes, roll me a d66.
52.
It's the exact same thing.
Oh, well, that does nothing. Oh, well.
You have
Let's
three
see.
things to shift, though.
4. If I... yep, I can shift
Right.
all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'd like to shift 1 into glory, if I can.
3 glory? I
All
think.
right. And I'll put the rest in damage, even though I'm fairly certain it won't matter much. Sorry, 1 moment.
Their resilience is 5, and they have 6 wounds. So if you do 11 damage or more, they're dead.
Well, I do 14 plus 1, so 15 all up.
Dead.
Boom.
Okay. Oh, right. It takes an action to... Does it take an action to put out the fire? Probably.
Yes.
Dinger. I did not declare that at the time.
That's why I was asking if your drones had a fire extinguisher on them or not.
The one that would is probably the technical drone, and that one is blind.
Just start spraying foam everywhere.
It can try to. I believe it's actually a test to put out something on fire.
It doesn't actually say. It just says you're burning.
As an action, the character can attempt to put out the fire by making an agility test. DN 3.
So it'll be, with blinded, it'll be DN... Hang on, check the blinding conditions.
7.
Plus 4
Is it up by 4? Yeah, so DN
Yeah, you
7.
had 4.
for all
I don't think
sight-related
that's something that a
tasks.
drone is capable of doing.
I don't know. What's the drone's agility?
Drone's agility is 5.
Theoretically, it can if you roll enough 6s.
If.
Or spend enough glory to make it work.
I think I just spent a lot of 6s. Oh well. I think that's all I will do for now. My drones can go later.
Gobrick?
Oh, right.
How many of them are left at this point? Just 2?
Just the blue horror.
Just the blue horror. Okay.
Which, from what you've seen, we'll split into 2 more horrors when you kill it.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could make 2 attacks, but I can't do 2 sequential attacks, right?
You can actually. You can
Okay.
if you declare a multi-attack, you can say, I want to shoot the blue horror and then shoot one of the brimstone horrors that I know is going to pop out of it.
Yeah.
And both of those attacks will be made with 2 higher difficulty.
Yeah, Gabrick is just going to keep shooting.
Salvo, multi-attack
yeah.
salvo.
Yeah. And does salvo then affect both of them? Or
Salvo attacks 1 attack each time you use it. You can spend 2 of your 3 reloads to salvo both of your shots.
Well, let me do the blue horror first, and I'm definitely going to use a salvo on that.
So that's just add your salvo rating as bonus dice to the attack roll.
Is it bonus dice or automatic successes?
Bonus dice.
It's bonus die.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm going to roll with 8 bonus dice.
Salvo 8?
No, my salvo is 5, but I have a targeting squig and a custom snaz gun.
Which goes over your limit. You can only have 7 bonus dice, but you get 7 bonus dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flash kits, they shoot things.
Oh!
This is a different combat, so you ignore that complication.
Okay.
Because your weapon is steadfast.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's
all
fair.
right. So yeah, that's 15.
Daka.
You only needed 3 to hit. No, if you're splitting attacks, you need 5 to hit.
Yeah.
1, 2,
So 1, 2,
4,
3.
5.
You can still shift all of those exalted icons.
Yeah, which I will. So
any of them going to glory?
where are we on glory?
We're at 3 glory right now.
3.
Yeah, I'll shift 1 to glory and the other to damage. So I'll take 2 bonus dice. I can only do 1 to glory, right?
Yep, only 1 to glory, unless you're Tacitus apparently.
Yeah. Oops, all DACA. That's great. All right.
No such thing as oops, all Daka.
So that is 14.
It's super dead, and then splits into 2 brimstone horrors that you then shoot one of.
Yeah, you hear Gabrick is just shouting "Daka daka daka daka," and then from his shoulder "Daka daka daka daka." If Squig can talk, if not, it's just laughing.
They can definitely make noises that sound like Daka.
Okay.
You're an orc. If you believe your Squig can talk, your Squig can talk.
Yeah, and reloads refresh every combat, or
reloads refresh when you can take a rest in a location that offers a chance to replenish your reloads.
Okay.
You're not out of ammo until you lose your final reload.
Yeah. What the heck? I'm gonna go ahead and spend the other one to do another salvo. So, at the one of them. So, good lord. Actually, that's only a 12.
It still only has a defense of 3 with your multi-attack of 5.
Oh,
so
I was confusing its wounds with its defense. Okay. So I am going to. Can I shift another 1 to glory?
Yep.
All right, I will do that.
5.
I've decided, based on this display alone, that my next character is William Devastator Marine.
Devastator, yeah.
17 damage.
Yep. And the brimstone dies. Now the brimstone gets to go because the second brimstone gets to go because it's a new thing on the battlefield, so it gets to fight now.
I would like to spend a glory to seize the initiative.
Sure. No, you've already seized this round. You've already gotten this round.
His was the end of the round. Would that? Are we not?
No, because the drone still had to go.
Okay, never mind then.
So someone else can seize if they want to.
I'd like to. I want to.
Well, if we've already gone, can we seize that? I guess. Right?
Oh no, yeah. Someone who hasn't gone yet would have to be able to seize.
Okay, gotcha. I had already got this one.
Your drone can seize the initiative. Yes.
There we go.
I spend a point of glory to
Beautiful.
have my drone seize the initiative.
Yeah.
So my drones are going to be taking multi-action. The technical drone will attempt to find its way to Tacitus and unset him on fire.
Requires what? If with the multi-action that requires
9.
9?
Got a chance. Might as well take it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it only blinded for a round?
Yeah, this is the round
Oh.
it's blinded for.
Oh,
What's
okay.
a complication?
Oh, bodge.
2, 4, 6.
But succeed, I think.
Nope, you need 9.
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Just 3 short.
If one
Actually,
more of those had been a
oh.
6 and you had you can spend glory if you want to try. You're very close. You need 3 more successes.
Or spin
You got 5 glory to spend.
Oh, yeah, you can spend glory to add extra dice to it.
Yeah, you can spend glory after you see what the roll looks like.
Sure, I will. How much?
I'll be giving you a hint. The game's gonna end after this fight ends. You might as well spend all your glory.
Fair. I'll spin. Let's see. Spinning 3 gives me the best shot at it.
Yeah.
But that also uses.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Actually,
it resets like at the end of
I'll
the session.
spend.
So
I'll spend 2 because my Gundren will also be attacking.
okay.
And hope for a 6. Both failed.
Nothing extra.
All right.
Nice
So
try.
Doesn't manage to put anybody out, but then your gun drone fires at the remaining brimstone horror.
Yep. Oh no, that's damage. My bad. Attack. 4, 5, 6.
It hits the brimstone horror.
Uh,
Its defense. Those do suffer the multi-attack penalty, so that would be a difficulty 5. So you only just barely hit. I don't think you can ship anything.
but I will. Do I need to reroll the damage on that?
No. How much
Okay.
damage does it do?
13.
It's dead.
Okay.
So now there's one more round because people need to be put out.
Yep.
So starting at the top, who's going to try and put people out first?
I'd like to throw a wet blanket on someone.
Roll an agility check.
Okay.
On
Who are you trying to put out?
Who's on fire?
Me,
The 2 Space Marines.
Yeah, me and Holly.
I'd like to have a wet blanket put on me, please.
Sure, I'll come fly.
So the difficulty is 3.
Agility. Okay.
Agility test difficulty 3.
Okay.
I burn with the Emperor's fury.
Oh. Well, that's
You can spend it. If you have a wrath left, you can spend.
do.
Or you can spend glory.
Let's do that.
Reroll. all
I'll
those
I'll
dice.
do some wrath.
If you reroll the wrath die too, because
yeah.
it's a fail. So you
We
can
do a
reroll
wrath,
that
so
too.
then I reroll 2 of those.
You put him out really
Reroll
angrily.
3 dice.
You can't re-roll the wrath die if
You
it's
can't-
a
you
if
can't
it's a
reroll
1.
wrath die?
No, I can't. Hey, that's more than enough, though.
I'm gonna gain a ruin that I'll have for next session.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
But you put Gita out. I'm assuming.
Yay.
I leave the blanket on your face, and then I pat the top of your helmet. There, you're good now.
I'll attempt
Thank
to
you.
put out Tacitus.
Sure. Make an agility test. Difficulty 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. DX.
There
You
it
make
is.
You make it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sister Mira puts out Tacitus.
I like to think it's just you set the because the Sisters of Battle have the double-sided chain swords, so you just like set them running and just use it to like fan out the flame.
Mostly
Like
it's
a blow dryer.
it's actually mostly just the gore from the pink one because that's the only thing that I hit. So it's just I use the gore to yeah.
Yeah, it's like a.
Spatter the gore to put it out.
Ugh.
I start
That's-
cooking.
yep.
You smell cooked demon meat.
Helmet
Halberd is
comes back on.
still shooting the bits of the horrors in the hopes that one of them will hit again.
And with that, that is where we will end for the week.
All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey.
Goodbye.